VCR Podcast with your host, Vish.
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris.
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that predates itself in the moment the title is spoken. Adam, aka askcsradical, here. Vish and Chris are above me, and we're trying to get this intro done as quickly as possible because we got a video to watch.
Okay, quick, go. No.
Yeah, there's a certain video that we probably have spoiled ourselves no matter how much you try, because social media without 5 hours is impossible.
Definitely have.
I've had zero. I've had no exposure. I turned off all my notifications. Nothing. I even went and got my hair cut for an hour, so I didn't have to look at my phone.
And even that, all I had to do was click the link again to open up the video, and it goes, here's this list of trailers you want to watch. I'm like, you fucking assholes, YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube's a jerk.
But it is what it is. We will still enjoy it live or not live, I guess, but our version of live on this show.
Yeah.
I'll watch along.
So this episode
the best version of live.
This episode is a special video-only edition because playing this in audio form would be stupid. So apologies to all our Spotify or Apple Podcast users or whoever that won't even be hearing this apology. So oops.
Adam, you mean user?
I mean, you're adorable thinking that we even have one. Shit.
Fair enough.
Hey, I'm right here. I listen to our show every week.
So yeah, we're gonna quickly go through our intro of what we've been doing. I only got really one thing to talk about because it's the one thing that I did that isn't just Fall Guys over and over again. I played Don't Nod's newest game that got put on Xbox Game Pass, Tell Me Why, which ended up I was really mad. I wanted it to be bad just so I could come on the show and be like, okay guys, tell me why I had to put up with this piece of shit. But no, that wasn't what happened. For those who don't know, Don't Nod are the guys that have been making a lot of these visual or choose your own adventures, kind of like what Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, like the David Cage stuff was. They were famous for doing Life is Strange, so that's been the big one. They got another one I think coming out in December, from what I understand. But this one is their first.
I am really sorry. I am definitely going to have to switch machines because there's a lot of freeze up, and it's going to cause some problems. So I will be back. In fact, you know what? You can skip my intro because all I've done is watch Cobra Kai, and I'll talk about that another night. So
okay, bye-bye.
You guys go ahead. I'm going to be back.
Okay, bye-bye.
And this is going to screw up all the things, so I got to quickly put up some symbol. Oh, no, it's already happening. No, don't worry. Only half of Chris's body is in the frame now. Don't worry about it. I'm solving it.
Only half of me. Is it the good half?
There. It's okay. So we're already having great issues. Cool. So anyway, so now we can just talk about how terrible Vish is for the next 15 minutes.
Oh, for not watching The Expanse again.
I know, right? But tell me why.
Cobra Kai?
Yeah, he keeps avoiding the one good thing that he should be watching and just watches something else. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, tell me why. Actually, tell me why Vish isn't watching The Expanse. I know, right?
That's good. So,
tell me why. Basically, this is really groundbreaking in a way because, as far as I know, this is the first game where one of the playable main characters is transgender, which is a big deal.
Yeah,
and because we've had trans characters throughout throughout like games in general, but they've always usually been side characters or like maybe like minor party members kind of deal. This is straight up not playable, like right at the forefront of all this, in fact, and. From that aspect, I will say, I think they did the best they could for being the first one, in all honesty. Because no matter what they did, it was going to feel like it was being pushed on you because, again, it's such a major different thing, right? So people would look at this and be like, okay, no, you're shoving it down your there's no way that they're not shoving it down your throat when you're not used to seeing it at this level, right? So the first chapter of 3, absolutely. I remember playing it and going, okay, this is getting a little bit much. And then I had to stop myself and went, wait, no, this isn't much. This is just uncharted waters for me. So of course it feels like a lot. It's a lot to throw down on somebody when you've never really had to deal with it before. So once I got over that, it was pretty easy to get very, very interested in this series, especially at the end of chapter 1 where it really throws you a nice curveball. So basically, without spoiling the story really too much, the story takes place in Alaska, which is a pretty interesting setting as well, because Alaska is a pretty rare destination in its own right. And it takes part with two twins. That makes so much sense coming out of my mouth, and then in retrospect, it's like, no, it doesn't.
There's so many twins.
So it takes place with. I almost did it again. It takes place with a.
Oh, you almost did it again.
It takes place with. It's supposed to be two sisters that are twins, but of course one of them's transitioned, or at least I think in the process of transitioning, because at the end of the last chapter, it does mention that he is about to go to surgery. So that's probably like in mid-transition.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
And the two of them, they were separated at 9 years old. And at 9 years old, what happened is, I mean, long story short, because it's the very first thing they tell you in the game, is their mother, there was a single mother family, and in that family, they had a traumatic event where the mother tried to kill the transitioning child, and it is said that the child stabbed I guess at that time it would have been her mother, but his mother, and killed her. And that's basically how the story leads off. And they were separated at 9 years old. And now 10 years later, they're brought back together for the first time to sell the old house because that's been abandoned for 10 years. So it's kind of like
cool
the entire story is them getting over that traumatic event, basically.
Yeah.
And it does a really good job of handling a lot of themes. And obviously transgender is a really big part of it. I will say the one thing that bugged me is that there was an article that I saw. I can't remember where. I'm not going to say a name just because I don't want to misappropriate it. But there was one article that was written where they got really mad because they're like, they didn't even like really do anything mean to that person. Like they didn't talk about things like dead naming the person or like overly misgendering. It didn't happen. And I'm like, so wait, you're mad that nothing bad happened to a trans person?
Yeah, like they're normalizing it.
So in the game,
what kind of a world are we in where someone being treated as an equal and respectfully is a fucking problem?
I think it was their way of like. I think if I was steel manning them, I think what they were trying to say is like, hey, it's not really showing a true light on what a lot of trans people go through. To which I say, yeah, but maybe the first like major game to do this thing is maybe not the best place to do it. Maybe like make trans people feel like they're normal people in the first edition.
Yeah, like I think that this would be a good way of handling it.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, though, like Tyler, the trans character in that game, is treated very well actually, and is respected because it's a small like Alaskan community. So believe me, they treat each other like family anyway. So that theme is like you weren't going to expect like some like city boy just being like, hey, what are you looking at? Like it wasn't going to be doing that. So
yeah.
But the first chapter was fucking amazing, like very well, because it mixes a little bit of horror in there, but not like jump scare horror, but more like just kind of like a psychological sort of deal.
So I'm sorry, Adam. Due to my technical difficulties, is this a game or a demo you're playing?
A game, full game.
Okay.
So
what's this one called?
Tell me why.
Okay.
He must not have listened because I definitely said that during it. Tisk. But
no, I only heard about Fall Guys, so I actually didn't hear you with the.
All right. Anyways. Long story short, like that game, first chapter is amazing. Second chapter, could have been better, and then third chapter was like, oh, okay, and then had a pretty decent ending.
Strong.
Well, it depends because you can get a bad ending if you make the wrong choices, but you know. I had basically the best ending because the only I guess complaint that I'll have about Tell Me Why is that. It's again one of those games that kind of makes you choose between like certain options and stuff. It's pretty obvious which is the good choice and which isn't. Like it's basically be nice to people or be an asshole. So it was pretty easy to get the good ending. There was just maybe like one or two choices throughout the entire game that I'm like, ooh, that's actually tougher than I thought. But everything else was like, not being a dick. That's basically it.
Oh, okay.
Should I be a dick or not?
It was designed to be a choose your own adventure game then?
Yeah, in a sense.
Okay.
Like I said, very much like Heavy Rain.
Oh, so yeah, choose your own adventure, but with a very similar outcome. There is an end game towards it, not just like there's no choose this ending. There's no like open ending. There is an end game to it.
Yeah, no, there definitely is a point where it will come to a climax. And it does
And that's what
pretty
she
well
said.
with it. Like it handles the trans issue very well. It does handle LGBTQ issues and as a whole very well, because there's also, I don't know what sexuality another character in this game is. You're presumed that he's gay, but he could also be bi, could be pan. You're not really sure. And they handle like romance pretty well in that game. They handle family issues really seriously well. They handle mental illness very well in this. There's a lot of little things that they cram into what's essentially 2 hours per chapter. So it's about a 6 to 7 hour experience, depending on how much time you look around for stuff.
That's pretty good. Because I usually find with those games, they're 5 episodes. And sometimes I feel like by the 3rd or 4th one, I feel like, okay, you know what? I wish this was kind of 3 episodes. Like, I feel like there's a bit of filler in here. So it being 3 episodes means they can actually
I think they could have opened it to 4. I think they had a little bit more wiggle room to work with, because there were a couple of questions they could have asked and kind of expanded on a couple of things. Some of the chapters, actually, the first chapter felt really short when I played it. I'm like, I thought this would have ended a little bit longer, but it is what it is. But I mean, really, I just played one chapter every evening. So from Sunday to Tuesday, I played a chapter each day, and it worked out pretty nicely. So it was a nice little thing to carry me through until we get into some podcast stuff. And obviously, Fall Guys had a big update, so that'll be what I'm doing tomorrow when I start streaming, because I am off for the next 4 days. Fuck yeah!
Oh yeah, very
Vacation.
nice. Yeah.
But that's basically it. So, well, since Vish is back, why don't you just quickly tell us about what you thought of Cobra Kai?
Okay. It was on when it was on YouTube. I was like, oh, this could be fun, but I don't want to pay for it. But then it came to Netflix. And I'm like, let me just see how it is. So it's actually well done. There's definitely the campy 80s feel to it,
Which is awesome.
Yeah. So it's very focused on Johnny Lawrence, as you can tell from the trailers and everything. And it shows that like he's struggling, but a lot of it is he brought it onto himself, but he's blaming other people. But of course, like he's bringing back Cobra Kai. That's the basis of the show. And however, he's trying to change the image of it. And Daniel LaRusso is there, and then like he starts trying to, him and Johnny start getting at it, because you know the whole thing about the final fight in Karate Kid, how the crane kick was actually an illegal move,
and also really easy to counter.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So it was that they actually brought that up and said, "You won with an illegal move." So Johnny is trying to rebuild his life. He has a son and who he doesn't have a relationship with, and whose mother's a hoe bag and a half, and is complete trash and a junkie. So, and it's just showing the next generation of Cobra Kai and how the cycle is going over again. Johnny is now like the Mr. Miyagi type of sensei who's a little more of an asshole, because Mr. Miyagi was a very lovable person, and how Daniel is like, okay, you know what? I'm not. You're bringing back Cobra Kai. That's bullshit, because Cobra Kai is a bunch of assholes. But then Johnny's trying to change the imagery of Cobra Kai. But then you see all these kids who are nerds. Like one particular character, I will not mention his name, in case you guys. So I recommend you guys watch it, because it is actually well done for what it is. Don't expect it to be like a Breaking Bad type of situation where
I wouldn't have assumed Cobra Kai was going to be Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So one character, he goes from a complete like social outcast, awkward nerd to essentially a full out asshole bully. The thing is, though, they explore how he was treated and the shit he went through. And don't get me wrong, I'm not justifying the actions of this character, but you can kind of see why he is the way he is. But he went to the extreme. He went from complete social outcast to treated like shit, completely weird and everything, to ultra asshole. And it's a good representation, being like, you got to you like defend yourself, but don't fucking like treat people like shit for no reason. Don't become what you hated. So yeah, Cobra Kai, I recommend watching. Season 3 is actually going to be coming eventually. in 2021 because something happened in 2020 that prevented every fucking thing from coming out, and it's it's fun to watch. There's a lot of heart in it, like any Karate Kid type of film, the first one and the Jackie Chan remake, but
Yeah.
like it's fun to watch. It's a good show, and there's definitely it keeps you hooked. And again, it is definitely very campy 80s stuff. And one of the ultimate 80s villains. When you watch it, you'll see it. And just because I've had it for so long, because I was just going through my backlogs, I played another game on DS, and it was Donkey Kong Country Returns. It was released originally for the Wii, and Chris, I remember you mentioning it is hard as fuck.
It is so fucking hard. Holy shit!
It is. So I've been playing. It's fun. It's classic Donkey Kong on the SNES. The controls are different because with the Wii controls, they make you do the gestures to get certain actions done, but with the DS controls, they change it where you use button combinations. So I would say I never played the one for the Wii, but I'm assuming that the controls that they have for the DS will make the game significantly idiot-proof. But it's vintage Donkey Kong. It's fun. I'm only finished the first world in the game, but like the music is just so great. It's like such classic Donkey Kong. We
don't have time for music.
But yeah, that's all I've been doing really this week. And I will let it off to Chris on my left and Adam's top left or top right.
It doesn't matter because it's not going to show up on the screen anyway. So.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. True. Well, it's funny, Adam, that you said no music, because when you were talking about Tell Me Why, I was going to start singing Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, I was this close to
Tell me why.
I don't want it that way, Chris.
Ain't nothing but a...
See, now that's a response. That's good. I like that. All right, so what I've been up to. I have done a lot of a little, if that makes sense. I have played, probably in the last week or 2 weeks, 5 different games, but none of them like finished, like just an hour or 2 of each of them. Like I've just kind of been all over the place. So I'm not going to talk about all of them, but I've gone back to Yakuza 0. That's like my big like playing on the TV game. And a little bit of Age of Empires. Besides those, though, the main games I played at like the most amount of time. Oddly enough, as I have my PlayStation Vita, and I hadn't actually used it because I was just using it to stream my Steam games to the Vita. But ever since COVID hit, internet bandwidth is not what it was before. And streaming, even just from my computer to the couch, it's just not fluid enough. I do it for like an old school Final Fantasy or like a turn-based kind of game, but anything that requires any kind of like split-second button movement controls, anything like that, like it's not happening. However, I had a bunch of Vita games installed on there, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, maybe there's one I'd want to try. And when I was looking, I found Hot Shots. Hot Shots Golf. Yeah, and I hadn't played Hot Shots in so long, and I never played the Vita version. So I was like, I'm going to see if I'm going to love this. And oh boy, did I not only love it, I lost track of time. I actually had it sitting next to me just in case I got to sit down in front of the podcast early. I was going to shoot out a couple holes before I started.
Dude,
I'm a little bit addicted
Shots
again.
will like you'll get lost in it. So
it's so like interesting that. How like again it comes back to the whole thing of like not every sports game has to be a simulation, because like Hot Shots and like Mario Golf, they've always been like really fun, addictive games.
Yes,
like they're cool just perfect. To pop in, play around, and you're happy with it. Like I used to play I can't remember, I think it was Mario Golf something tour. I can't remember what the missing word was.
Oh, World Tour or
maybe, but like
tour, yeah.
It was something that you could get free on DS, so I was just like, screw it. And literally, anytime I go somewhere, like if my girlfriend was going to a doctor's appointment, like I'd pop that up and play like a round while I was waiting. And it's very easy just to kind of get lost into that, because it's doesn't require much, and it's very, very just lighthearted fun.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's like that's what I want with them to bring back with sports games, when they were fun and not simulators.
I mean, we can have the simulators if they want. Just give us some fucking good like fun ones too.
Yeah, like it made me feel. Plus, it's like so PlayStation, right? Like that's such a PlayStation style classic game. So it was nice to actually go back and play. And I totally forgot that you actually earn trophies and shit on the Vita, which goes to your overall trophy count. So that was kind of cool. I was like, look at that, working on my PlayStation score before the PS5.
Just remember that if you screw up a shot over and over again, put your Vita down and not throw it off the balcony.
Or you could just not be a fucking person with anger issues throwing a fucking console.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't throw the Vita. That would be too expensive.
I was smart. If I ever got mad at a game, I threw the controller on the couch.
Yes.
Oh, no. That's usually what I do.
Only if it reflects off the couch and then hits the TV and breaks that.
Hot Shots is notorious for rage-inducing, though.
No, it's not. It's only rage-inducing if you let it be.
Yeah, it depends. I understand what you're both saying there. And then the other game I've been playing, because with us getting our place ready for what we're doing with it and everything, I didn't have my computer hooked up for a little bit. So obviously that's one reason I grabbed the Vita, but I also grabbed my Switch. I got a new case. No, not Animal Crossing. I've been back, which is weird because my birthday was like a week and a half ago, and you should always go onto your Animal Crossing island on your birthday. You get a lot of free stuff, and I did not go.
You done fucked up.
Yeah, I wish I done fucked up. No, I went back to Shovel Knight because Shovel Knight actually has four huge campaigns, and I'd only beaten the first one. I beat it like I think a month or two ago, probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. So I beat Shovel Knight's story, but then there was Plague Knight and Spectre Knight and King Knight, which is the funniest one to say because how can you be a king and a knight at the same time?
Video games.
So I went through video games, right? So I was playing it just in bed or wherever I'd be because it's like Vita for golf, and when I was done with that, I'd pick up the Switch and play some of that. I beat Plague Knight's story and I beat Spectre Knight's, and now I'm on the last third because it's broken into 3 parts. I'm on the last third of King Knight. So I will actually be fully done the Shovel Knight story, which is crazy because I actually was on the Kickstarter for this game, like way back in 2014, I think, or something like way back. So I have it on Steam, but I never got into it just because I played it, but I had so many other games on Steam, I kept getting distracted. On my Switch, I only have a couple games. So it was between Shovel Knight or a couple others. I'm like, oh, I'll do Shovel Knight. And when I started to get into it, each character's story, like Shovel Knight versus Plague Knight versus Spectre Knight, they're all different. Spectre Knight's entire game is like Ninja Gaiden. Like you have to jump and you use your sword, and when you use it, you move across the screen to hit what you're hitting. You can do a double jump, but then use your sword again. The really cool thing is he's Spectre Knight, so he's dead, and his sword is actually like a scythe or whatever it's called.
Ooh, nice.
It's super. That's my favorite one. Plague Knight, you throw potions, and you actually choose like what kind of potions you want to throw. You want to throw one that lobs above you, one that you throw and bounces 3 times, one that you throw and blows up on the first bounce. It's like you're throwing bombs, basically. And it's a super, super cool. It's probably my favorite story because Plague Knight, Spectre Knight, and King Knight, they're actually one of the 8 bosses from Shovel Knight. So imagine you played Mega Man, and then there was 3 more stories, but you played as Cut Man, Heat Man, and Crash Man or something like that. Like you got to play.
As long as it's not Bubble Man. No one likes Bubble Man.
No one would like Bubble Man. No. They honestly could have made every single one of these like about each character. Like it showed how Spectre Knight became who he is. Plague Knight, something he was doing on the side, even though he's working for the main bad guy. King Knight is like a prequel. And the cool thing about King Knight is it has a card game part of it. It's called King of Cards. It's basically got a triple triad type game that you actually play, and you have to go and get yourself in tournaments and play all these card games. They're totally optional, but it's the main driving force behind the story. And I'm addicted to card games within games, so I immediately grew very attached to that.
Yeah, I'm sure the inner Gwent guy was not doing anything there.
Oh, Gwent and Triple Triad. Fuck, I love all those. So yeah, King of Cards. I can't remember what they call this game, but it's very similar to Triple Triad where a card goes down. It has arrows pointing on each card, and it depends on what card you basically attack or try and shift. It's very, very, very cool. And I have to admit that the Shovel Knight series might be some of my favorite. It would probably be in my top 10 games of the 2010s. Like it is insane how good these games are because they're
quite
retro,
possibly
but
the best indie game of that decade, without question.
I would, if I had to only go indie games, it's in at least my top 2. I just have to double check to see if there was one other one, but I'm pretty sure it might be my number 1 as well. It's amazing how good these games are. They're like a little bit DuckTales, a little bit Ninja Gaiden, a little bit Mega Man, a little bit Super Mario World or Super Mario Brothers 3 with the overworld map. And the characters moving, like the Hammer Brothers would move on the screen. You have other characters that do that too.
Even with like the co-op like battle system, it's almost a little bit of like Streets of Rage and even Beastmasters.
Yeah. And honestly, I forgot it had co-op until right now. I totally forgot about that, which is crazy that this amazing game, they added freaking co-op after. I don't know if it's 2-player or 4-player, but holy crap. Like,
I believe
one of the
we
best
played
games ever.
4-player together.
Of Shovel Knight?
Yeah. I think we have.
Well,
I mean, it's possible. I may have been drunk. Sometimes I'm not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happens.
Well, speaking of 4-player, this may be a good segue because in this video we're about to watch, they may be talking about Shishima's 4-player thing that's coming soon. So I will now defer to YouTube. And I assume you guys have it all ready to go. You have it sitting at the 0 thing and ready to click.
Yep.
It is at 0.
All right. So
are we doing 3, 2, 1, go? Or
3, it's going to be 3, 2, 1,
How
click.
about, I got an idea. VCR, go.
No.
Really?
No, because it's unusual. We're not going to catch it properly.
Okay.
And also because I like ruining things. Yeah, Chris would be like, I heard my name. Click!
Oh, good.
So yeah, so we have no idea what's coming in, although I'm reading the side here, unfortunately, and I see exactly what's coming in, so it is what it is. But we are going to be reacting to this live. There's going to be no pausing, and then we will talk about it in our thoughts after that.
Yep.
So we are going to be ready. So I'm assuming everybody's good to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yep.
All right, so in 3, 2, 1, click.
Play. May contain inappropriate.
All right, Vish, sorry, this is already going to screw you up.
Fuck. Sorry. Fuck.
All right.
Oh, I've already seen enough. That's all I
Turn this
needed.
down a little bit. Whoa, somebody's echoing.
I'll put the volume a little lower.
Are you watching on your TV? Use your headphones. You're using a Blue Yeti. That thing catches everything.
Is this better?
I can't hear it yet, so that's a good sign.
Okay.
Side note, Kenna got delayed to next year as well, so unfortunately there's another game to the pile of things not coming out.
Oh my god, that cat game.
I forgot about the cat.
I didn't forget about the cat.
Where you're a cat in the future.
Miles.
Yes, Sony,
Oh, that
but what does it
beautiful
cost?
wireless
Black and white
router.
color.
So let's see what we're kicking off with here. Okay, so it's not actual PS5 footage.
Captured on PC,
That's disappointing.
emulating the PS5.
I think I know what this one is.
A PC. Like, it's just a PC.
It's a fire. Has to be Dark Souls. No, it probably isn't. That is Final Fantasy graphics. That is a Final Fantasy tattoo.
I thought that was Squall with the fucking scarf.
Oh my god, I tried to fucking mute this thing.
How do we even know the girl will be among us? Our kind do not question orders.
I will be shocked if this isn't Final Fantasy. Oh, no, Chocobos.
Okay,
Never
those are
mind.
Chocobos.
There we go. That just changes everything.
Oh my god.
Remember what I was talking about earlier today?
Yeah, I don't care. We already knew this was going to exist. Like, basically everybody under the sun said this was going to be in the presentation. Oh, hi, Shiva. Possibly Titan, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Our foe will not relinquish their mother crystal easily.
Oh, that
I love
person's
that
hot.
dog.
Fight.
Puppy.
You should not be out of doors.
So this is like medieval. Look, this is pretty interesting. This is a different setting we don't normally see. For
And it's
Final
the
Fantasy.
original Final Fantasy song. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's the original
I
Final
can't.
Fantasy game.
I wouldn't be
it's
able
gotta
to
be-
recognize it.
It's got a Victorian feel to it.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice battle system.
Okay.
Okay, so it's probably sticking with the Final Fantasy 15 stuff. So I think they're done with turn-based. I hope that one day they at least just do an old school one just for funsies. Oh, hi Marlboro.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
What does it matter? It
Final Fantasy 15 Medieval.
There's always got to be that one bitch lady with the fucking smoke in her hand. There's always got to be that one.
Yep.
But the real important question is, are there crystals and 4 of them?
Yeah. I don't know. This is the original. This music is the original Final Fantasy music. This is insane to me.
Would it be interesting if 16 just decided to be like, look, we're gonna actually like do some of the old ones all over again, or like maybe this isn't that same world?
Was Final Fantasy 1 a medieval-esque game?
I mean, it's NES. It's kind of hard to tell, right? Oh, hello, lots of blood.
Oh, that kid.
Yeah, that was pretty...
That kid.
That's some Kingdom Hearts shit right there.
Could this game be rated M?
I mean, they could if they wanted to. If they really wanted to, like, they'll probably push it as far as they can, though, to keep the T, though.
That Phoenix was cool. Oh, it's the man on fire from Metal Gear.
Metal Gear?
I have a feeling that might
Yeah,
not
that's what
be
I
it.
just
I'm gonna go down a limb here.
Cloud!
Oh, hi, Sephiroth. Oh, Sephiroth, you've changed. Shit.
No, that's
Yeah, that's it for
That's
it.
the guy from Ragnarok.
Yeah, there are crystals. God damn it!
Yes!
The legacy of the
It's
crystals.
Final Fantasy as it should be.
The balance has returned. Now, I
This
mean, look,
music
I'm
is
not,
like Final Fantasy
again,
11 and
I'm
14.
not gonna go really out on a limb here and be like, this is gonna be amazing, because look, like, Square's had a real rough time trying to get Final Fantasy back to where it was.
Yeah.
So, as long as they don't rush the game out, maybe the story at least won't suck.
I'll kill you.
Imagine this is just an expansion for Final Fantasy 14.
No,
But it's just like an epic expansion.
Final Fantasy 7 Part 3.
Yeah, there's 16.
Holy actual shit.
Yeah, this is what.
Wow.
This is where I was saying you were gonna start crying. and
Exclusive?
masturbating.
Oh,
Yep, that's what
in
I
tiny
was
letters,
saying.
also
Also
available on
PC.
PC. Chris, you're okay. I mean, you're getting a PS5
That's-
anyway, so...
That's what I was trying
They're buying
to.
it on both.
That's what I was holding back, the exclusivity.
Okay, well, that wasn't much to hold back on, to be honest, because we all heard like 1,000 times this was going to be in it. It's just seeing what it was. And I don't know what to say about it at this point, because again, like, Square has had a
X?
really rough record. I should be excited about a Final Fantasy game. I'm not actually that excited yet.
I like the setting, so I'm willing to be.
Okay, so
excited
everything
for
else from
that.
here on out is PS5 specific. Okay. So
That's
this is
why they
all
put it
with
at
what
the
we're going to see. So what are we kicking off with here?
Madden.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
Knew it.
Gameplay demo coming in.
I heard this. Oh, it better be.
Oh no, there's no way they're showing you a trailer again after already showing it. Whenever Sony does this, it's always a
Yeah.
demo.
It'll be a cinematic, and then there'll be some gameplay for sure.
So I can turn this up a tiny bit, but not too much.
You got the house key? Yeah, I got it.
There we go. It's hard to find that balance of like loud enough that I can hear it pretty well, but but not too loud that it doesn't overshadow us.
Come on, we're gonna be late.
Yeah. I like that this is during Christmas. There's been very little Spider-Man and Christmas, like winter setting.
Well, yeah, because the web would freeze and then it would snap.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, true. Oh,
Yep,
it's gonna go
demo.
gameplay. There we go.
This is my favorite part of
Nice
Remake.
transition.
Pop-up street fair, best food in the city. Awesome.
Even the Spider-Man game itself had a really good transition from cutscene to gameplay.
Now here's the thing, we're not worrying about graphics anymore at this point, so now what I'm starting to pay attention to is less how beautiful it is and more like how much is going on and what's going on.
That I agree with.
That's the key.
So
for
far,
me.
no load times or anything on anything.
I'm not seeing stuff pop in, which is good.
Actually, the fur on his jacket's done really well too.
Well, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
again, it's more like okay, well, it's really easy to do that now. But it's the minor details. We're not looking at explosive stuff. It's just a matter of okay, is everything fluent and is there anything jumping around? And so far, we're looking okay.
The lighting.
Hi, I'm Brian Horton, creative
Oh,
director.
Get
Go
away from the
away, you.
gameplay. Stop
I'm
it.
excited to show you this first look at gameplay from Marvel Spider-Man Miles.
We
Morales.
figured that out,
Our
Brian.
story picks up
The graphics on this is amazing though. It looks
Come
real.
on, Tim
Yeah,
Horton.
yeah. The asshole graphics is really picking up here.
While Miles' mom, Rio Morales,
This is a little bit of a step backwards seeing this.
Devious Energy Corporation Roxxon and the Underground, a high-tech criminal army.
You gonna Roxxon with your cocks on?
Starts to break out. In this
Ayo.
sequence, captured on PlayStation 5 hardware, the the underground attacks Roxxon.
Electro?
Well, no, it looks like actual soldiers.
Under the Braithwaite Bridge, where the underground tries to steal Roxxon's experimental.
I do like, again, you're right though, Chris. I do like the idea of them doing winter because it's pretty unusual for these kind of games to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool.
Now, I'm sure the reason they do it too is because generally speaking, winter also kind of limits the like variation to people you can have.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also they brought it in to just show the capabilities of this next.
I'm
gen
sure
as
it'll
well.
probably like there'll probably be different points. There's no I would be surprised if the entire game is winter.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen winter
Oh,
done
that's
well
interesting.
was in Metal Gear Solid.
That was like
4.
Doc Ock level shit.
Oh, it could be the girl from Olivia Octavius from what's it called? Into the Spider-Verse.
Miles, why didn't you just get the Iron Spider
True.
suit from like we all know in this game it's like King.
Yeah.
Why would you
powers
knock
are
him
all
into the
shit.
things you're taking from? Oh boy. Well,
That's not good.
you know the rule, guys. Whenever there's a bridge, something's got to get destroyed.
Mainly the bridge.
These poor bridges.
That person friggin' flipped up that canister like it was clad with a Buster Sword. That was funny.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Again, very good transition.
I have to stop this.
Camera staying with it pretty
I
well.
like that it's got the same vibe, obviously, as the previous Spider-Man game, but it's like more fluid. It seems faster.
Well, yeah, again with like the assets not having to load
No
as much,
freezing.
the frame rate's at 60 frames probably.
Yeah.
Well, Miles actually has a few abilities Peter doesn't.
Well, it's not. It's more just like how like fluid everything is, right? So
Yeah, like the power of the system and stuff, yeah.
that is a fucking Buster Sword. Oh no, it's an Ivy fucking sword. Okay.
That is, wow.
Also, the music is vibing here.
Great.
Thank God I
this is
don't
good
monetize my shit because this would be copywritten real fucking fast. This will go to YouTube and immediately they'll flag me like, here's all these things that you shouldn't be having. I'm like, I know.
The entire Sony presentation.
I know.
It's like, take my money, I
Because
don't care.
bridges.
Take the like 15 cents you'll make off this video, I guess.
Aw, you think you're gonna make 15 cents?
I mean, it's a fair estimate.
I mean, I'm not feeling very positive about Miles' chances here.
Let's see.
I mean, look.
Spider-Man
look.
versus an entire bridge.
The trailer comes out. Actually, Miles dies in this game. Fooled you. This game is actually,
Chris, didn't you know this is that's the subtitle for the game? Spider-Man 2, Miles Morales versus the Bridge.
If this is all one bit of gameplay, by the way, there hasn't been a single slowdown or load moment.
yeah, no, again, it's the transition.
Like, these transitions are insane from, like, cutscene to gameplay, from cutscene to gameplay.
Oh shit.
Like, it shouldn't be this fluent. This is amazing.
And
Literally
yep, back
nothing
into
has-
gameplay.
Nothing has loaded at all.
Yeah.
And now we're officially back into gameplay. Yeah, that's really fluent.
Yeah.
That was gameplay still.
That's insane.
Well, no, but it was a quick time event. It's not the same thing.
I can stop this.
So, like, we're probably back. Yeah, we're back in a quick time event. This isn't really gameplay. This is cinematic with button presses.
Yeah.
But still, like, again, it's like you said, the transitions, like, and you can even see, like, everything really in the far distance. Like, nothing's, like, blurring out. Nothing's popping in and out. Everything's doing fine. Get to the chopper!
Yeah, right.
Wait, the chopper's probably the bad guy.
This is a really epic cinematic anyways. Oh, what a cock tease.
Oh, that
What do you mean a
theme
cock
song?
tease? It was the most basic shit.
That theme song is going to be on my Spotify. I'm telling you right now. That's going to be my new workout
Is there
song.
anything
probably
else?
available
Is there
right
anything
now.
else? Is there anything else? Oh, no, we're
And
transitioning.
thanks for joining us for today's show. Every time I see the X, I keep thinking it's almost for a split second it's an Xbox.
Joke's on you. So, Phil Spencer comes on. We just bought Sony.
I'd be like, okay, but what's the price?
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, so it's finally a thing.
Okay.
It's finally a thing. Hogwarts is finally coming.
Yes. This was another.
This has been a long rumor, like years long.
I think this was like in the late stages of PS3. This was like supposed to come out.
No, when this thing was rumored, I think it was like 2 to 3 years ago at most. And the first time I heard about this, I'm like, an RPG in the Harry Potter universe, like that sound, especially if it's like your own person.
Oh, this is going to be
if it's your
like-
own person in Hogwarts, this sounds fucking fun. Like this could be really fun. I don't even care for the Harry Potter like series that much, but the actual like idea of doing a wizard school on your own sounds really fucking fun.
This sounds like that it's going to be in the era of the Fantastic Beasts, like early Hogwarts days.
And that's what I was hoping for too, that it stays as far away from Harry Potter as it can.
Yeah. Well, it said it was in the early 1800s. That's
Yeah.
what the stranger said. So that's, I mean, it has to be a way.
So it works out perfectly. I'm very interested in this now that I know a little bit more of where it's taking place. Because now that I know it's staying away from stuff, now I can actually like be like, okay, now we can focus on, is the game going to be really fun and open for people?
No, if it's definitely staying away from Hogwarts, like the Harry Potter series, then there's a lot of potential here. And this will tap
really cool.
into a lot of... Oh, that was cool.
Now, the only thing I will say to worry about is this game has been apparently in production for a long time, so they've probably been constantly messing with it to keep retooling it for now a new console. So,
Yeah, true.
just be warned, there might be a lot of older systems that are still in this game. So it's really going to come down to the story, I think, which is going to be key. I don't know if the gameplay is going to be like ground-shattering. I don't think it's probably going to be very, very like similar to other things we've seen before.
Oh, actually, I know that dragon thing looks really cool.
I'm sorry, there's dragons?
The choices you make now will define.
This will actually cause a lot of non-gamers to game, because there's a lot of people are Harry Potter fans, but they're not gamers. So
Well, it depends. It depends if they want to pay the extra money for the console, because some of them, it might not be a thing that they're into, the idea of either.
And I'm
But I
a
think
gamer,
this
but not a
one-
Harry Potter guy, and
Like,
I would totally play that.
Yeah, I
game.
think like a lot of people that are like just casual like gamers and see Harry Potter, they probably just be like, yeah, I got the mobile game.
Yeah, true.
fair enough.
Hogwarts Go.
The interesting thing though will be what is that game's rating? Because is it going to be for kids or is it going to go further beyond that?
I think it's going to be a T for teen game, which essentially a lot of parents don't have a problem with.
Anything you've ever experienced, and the PlayStation 5 is making that happen.
It's Raven.
Is this Call of Duty?
We've been able to
Can you turn it down a little bit again, Vish? We're getting some echo again.
Yeah, no
From
problem.
what you see in the world, how it feels in your hands, to what you hear around you.
Yeah,
It's probably Call of Duty
Black
Cold
Ops
War. Now that I
you'll
think
be
about it.
transported to the
I'm
year
pretty sure it is.
1981, in the middle of one of the most dangerous times the world has ever known, the height of the Cold
This
War.
dude does look like a
One of the
Marine,
dangerous,
although.
most dangerous times. What about the other two world wars
You've been given
before
the name
it?
of a high-value target linked
Yeah.
to the
You mean the
IRA.
Cold War, the
I was
thing where
born in
like nothing
83, and last
happened?
thing I remember is
Yeah, the
nothing
Cold War
happening.
was one of the
Seems.
potentially most dangerous times. That sounds right.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna ever do like a Call of Duty Civil War, because that
No, they wouldn't do it. No, I guarantee you they wouldn't, because little kids would piss themselves and be so mad if all of a sudden... There's a reason why I don't think they'll go back to like even further past World War II. I think if they go to World War I, it would fail because people would get so mad because they can't do crazy no scopes and all this shit because you wouldn't have all the fucking extra stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, it's definitely Call of Duty.
Airfield's just up ahead.
Now, apparently, some of the voice actors didn't get brought back, which is kind of disappointing.
Victor Reznov?
I don't remember. I can't remember. Was it Woods? Maybe I think it was Woods that didn't get brought back.
And Victor Reznov?
I don't know about Reznov. Shut the fuck up about Reznov.
He's the only character I remember from the Black Ops.
I don't know why we're seeing gameplay. I'm going to be completely straight with you guys. I don't know why we're seeing Call of Duty gameplay. Is it really any different than what we've always seen?
Yeah, is there like some ray tracing I should be looking
Like
at?
we're almost at the point now that seeing Call of Duty gameplay is the equivalent of like if Madden 22 comes out and they show gameplay of that.
They did.
Oh,
it was terrible.
Like it's shooter. It's shooter with scenes that might be like really explosive, like Michael Bay level explosives.
There is definitely some visual enhancements from the previous titles, like the way the tarp is flowing looks fucking beautiful.
Sure, but I mean, again, like
that's not going to affect anything.
Oh, horrible shit. Oh, Call of Duty. Oh my god, so spoopy.
Bad Call of Duty things are happening. I think it's time for them to get called into duty.
That's our man. Take him.
Heyo.
And go to war in the cold?
Quick, take him out.
Oh, they're doing this.
So either they have bullet cam or that was specifically for the trailer. Or even part of the scene.
I think that's a scheduled kill. Like, it's meant to happen that way.
This is actually hurting my eyes.
Oh,
All the bullet
that's
trailing.
cool.
That's actually really fucking with my eyes.
That was cool. Like, you can,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I really don't like the bullet trailing at all. Like, this looks really, really bad.
Is that what bullets look like?
Yeah, I don't think they look like fucking Star Wars level fucking laser beams.
Yeah, they're like lasers in this. What is happening?
Mythbusters did this one thing to try to dodge a sniper bullet, and they said like, you can't see there's basically no spark in a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Like they only do that in Hollywood movies.
So another RC.
If you're gonna tell me that thing can go faster than a car, that doesn't make sense.
I have an RC car that's pretty fast, and the fastest it's gone is 41 Ks. It definitely cannot.
What the fuck is this magic car?
It definitely cannot go fast enough to fucking go. This is like the one.
Look, I know it's the Cold War, but Elon Musk made this car.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this
went
Tesla?
back in time, gave it to these people.
No, do you remember that one Fast and Furious movie where they were on the runway for like 15 minutes and the plane still didn't take off? And
Yeah.
I was just like, how long is this fucking runway? Even for a Fast and Furious movie, this is a little ridiculous.
Whoa, crazy backdrop, yeah. I'm not hating on it really that hard, guys. It's just, again, like, we've been seeing the same level of this stuff for like 10 years, and I'm not 18 anymore, so it doesn't do the same thing as it used to.
I'd play it on Game Pass or something, but I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, no, I can't be bothered to go out of my way, because I only want the campaigns now. I don't play the multiplayer very often anymore.
As you begin to unravel the truth,
and I'm certainly not paying.
Any of their multiplayers?
The story campaign,
not very often. Like I'm still waiting for Infinite Warfare to go under $20 so I can finally play that campaign. That's how long I'm waiting.
Today, I have the
special same.
It's still not $20.
No, it usually gets pumped to like 30 because again, they want people to play that multiplayer more. So.
Starting this Friday, PlayStation players will be able
the last
to play
Call of Duty I
the
finished was
multiplayer
World War
alpha
II, but that was like, I like World War II stuff, and that one is actually based on a true story.
That was the last one that I really spent some time with.
We can't wait to see you online.
That's also because I found a really stupid deal when it first came out that like the French version of the game, or the bilingual version I should say, was like really cheap for some reason, so I'm like, okay, fine.
Oh yeah. But you could still put it in English.
Oh yeah. So basically I got the same fucking thing for like half the price.
Yeah.
With a French lesson.
No, I didn't care.
Yeah, I kind of figured that much.
I don't hate French, but my time to learn it's gone. My time to learn a lot of things is gone. I don't have the capacity anymore.
Yeah, brain is all used up.
Pick up your phone.
And what's this?
Move. Chris?
Oh, Resident Evil.
Oh,
8.
yes.
Resident Evil.
Take him away.
I'm going to put the volume up a little higher on this one.
As long as there's an echo.
Again, I'm not a big fan of the first-person shooter aspect, but this one I think is going to be a significant game in the series.
In life and in death, we give glory.
Gives me like Resident Evil 4
The bell
vibes.
tolls for us all.
Yeah.
They're coming.
But with
Did you
modern
play
gameplay.
Resident Evil 4?
Never fully played it to the end.
Oh, okay. It's great. It's definitely dated now, and play the remake when it comes out.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Holy fuck, that would be a trip and a half.
Being so paranoid.
Just don't play it high. Don't play it in VR.
Yeah, or that.
No, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people playing in VR, and it's fucking hilarious.
Oh no, this is terrifying.
Hard at work.
This whole Tim Burton thing, that was terrifying.
The forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence. The bushes empty. Yet determined to find the bear,
this is terrifying.
The broke free of Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep.
Okay, how are you guys not terrified from the fucking Tim Burton thing?
The Tim Burton thing is the nicest part.
Because I'm not a bitch.
Oh,
giant fucking zombies. Oh dear.
Yeah, that was a big one.
About not being a bitch?
Oh my god, it's a lady cooking. Oh god.
Oh good
my god, that's so many wine glasses.
It's Claire Dunphy.
It's Resident Evil Martha Stewart. Oh god.
Once all the zombies die, I wonder how much that castle would cost to buy. It's gotta be cheap, right?
Resident Evil Village. Okay.
Oh.
Is that the penguin?
What's he gonna do?
Window shop away.
Oh, he's
the merchant who sells.
Is that the guy who used to sell weapons in Resident Evil 4?
Hey,
that's
what are you buying?
Is that who that was?
All right, so
okay.
There's the death loop that got canceled, or not canceled, pushed to next year.
Delayed. Yeah. This does look fun.
It still looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, this one.
You want out of a time loop.
It's got serious Sam vibes.
You gotta learn how it works.
I mean, I'm still a little bit on the fritz with it because it's Bethesda, but you know.
And each visionary.
But you love Bethesda.
No, right now I don't. Fucking stupid Fallout 76 bullshit.
A respected scientist.
I've done so many loops. I've learned to run.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting serious Sam vibes from this.
Actually, I'm getting more like time splitters from this.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of which, where the fuck is a new time splitters? God damn. You want to talk about fun first-person shooters?
Oh, cool.
This is pretty sick gameplay.
That was so violently satisfying.
I've tried taking my targets out one by one more than I can remember, but there is never enough time. I go after one.
Loving the art
another
form.
Lives. Because right now, half an island away, a different visionary is throwing his nightly cannibal masquerade. Alexis Dorsey.
Everybody shut up! This is my jam.
No, I won't do what you tell me.
Yet somehow, he never makes
Fuck
it
you,
to
I
the
won't
party.
do what you tell me.
Something keeps him home.
Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Motherfucker.
Are we gonna get copyrighted for that?
If we do, then I think at this point you're never allowed to sing again, which, you know, it's not a bad idea.
He made
Oh,
some
okay.
scientific breakthrough that
Well,
morning.
fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
I did it, it works!
That he makes every morning. Unless I get
Now, the cutscenes are giving me Jet Set Radio vibes.
There's
Jet
no
Set
roller
Radio for
skates,
shooter?
doesn't count.
That was a cool way to load that gun.
Just drop the bullets in, no context or anything, just drop them in.
no reason for Igor not to drink his disappointment with Alexis.
No jamming at all.
Shot at killing them both at the same time. In the same loop.
So, International Assassin Ken doll is what I think when I see that guy.
Hey, Wolf! It's time to hunt pig! Oh, I'm talking about you, baby! Come out and play!
Adam, what was that one shooter, that one alien shooter that was on the PS3? It was one of the earlier games for it.
Like, the only ones I could think of would have been Resistance or Killzone.
Not Killzone.
I never owned a PS3, so there's a lot of those that I don't remember.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
8 targets on my list. every one of them with grand plans.
See, the problem that I still have, though, is they really haven't explained what the loop is supposed to be.
Yeah. You have 24 hours to do.
We know
8
about
kills?
the other character, but what's the point with her? What's the loop? Like, I don't like. There's still that part of it that's like, hey, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Is it just a teleporting ability?
Well, no, but they're trying to say like, oh, you know, no matter how many times I try, which means you go back and try. But it's just like, again, like it's just as cool as it looks. They're not explaining it very well.
I wonder if it's 8 targets and you have a certain time limit, and then if not, you have to go back, or is it just a story, like a campaign?
Yeah.
Ooh. I like that. Pretty.
All right, what do we got now?
What's this? Capcom.
Resident
Oh,
Evil
shit.
9.
If our positions were switched,
It's a
Devil May Cry.
be different.
Yeah, you're right.
Would I have your life? And you mine?
It is.
You a demon?
Special edition. So all the DLC included in the next gen.
Yeah.
We'll say the music in this game. I
Upgraded for
haven't played the
PS5.
game, and I don't know if I will, but the music, from what I've seen of it, is fucking awesome.
Oh, you would
Yeah, it is
love,
cool music.
dude. Like the Devil May Cry, throughout all the games, like the music is like definitely your style.
I mean, I am amazed it took this long for a game that already came out to be shown off again, but you know. As long as Rockstar doesn't come in and be like, GTA 5.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, this would definitely be in my Spotify playlist right now.
Yeah.
So much going on.
Ooh, Trish.
Morgan Freeman.
I've seen him in the game only once so far.
Devil May Cry.
Oh, good for them.
I prefer Devil May Cry when it was more of a PS exclusive as opposed to when they started releasing it on Xbox as well.
I know, poor people having to have like being able to have choices. I know, right?
Yeah, fucking assholes.
Okay, Oddworld.
Yeah. Abe's Exodus or whatever.
Again, looks really cool, but I've as somebody on the outside, I've never understood like why people are so like in love with it.
Burned down their own hideout?
Yeah.
It sounds idiotic, but that's exactly what it looks like.
But I mean, it seemed to make people excited, so who am I to get mad about it?
I'm seeing Evil Squidward and a giant Brainiac flying machine.
I'm Lorne Lander,
right now.
creative director of Oddworld Soulstorm.
Stop
We're excited
with
to bring you an
these.
all-new
Just
exclusive
show me
trailer from
shit.
the game. Here, our unlikely hero, Abe, finds himself fresh off the back of freeing his people from the nefarious Rupture Farms. He thinks the journey is over, but soon discovers it has only just begun. The stakes are higher, the threats are larger, the obstacles are more devious,
Really?
and it's all made possible.
He thinks
by
his
the
adventure's
power of
over, but it's
PlayStation
only
5.
just beginning.
Enjoy.
You haven't made a game in forever, so that's a very lazy interpretation of what the story is. I almost hate that kind of idea too. It's like he thought it was over. It's like the same thing with what was it? Al Pacino's like, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
They bring me back in. Okay, so I've never played these games. Are they like a strategy game?
I think
or
they're
is it
like platformers, if
A
I'm not mistaken.
platformer. Okay.
Yeah, they're platformers.
I remember seeing it on the PS1, I believe, or PS2 was it?
Yeah, like nothing.
I remember them
nothing
being on the original Xbox, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing I see here makes me go, "Oh my god, this looks amazing." But I mean, I'm sure for the people that are really into this, that's a big one for them.
It looks fun.
It does look fun. It looks funny.
Well, it's almost like an M-rated platformer. Like you could really say it's like the closest thing you could get to an M-rated like Super Mario.
That's true.
Were the Outworld games M-rated?
I don't know if they're M-rated, but they are generally very dark.
Okay.
Yeah. They're at least rated T for teen. At least.
Come on, Sony. Let's see some prices.
Gregory,
That's not a price.
your friends are worried about you. They're here with me.
Oh boy.
Please come
Is
out.
the creepy
Portal
voice going
3.
to tell me the price? Because then I'll accept it.
Gregory, I know
Oh,
you
that's
said
terrifying.
something earlier, but it was just a
Hope nobody watching this video has ever named Gregory, because that's going to be creepy for the rest of
Oh
their
dear
lives.
God.
Oh, what the hell is that?
I don't know. I hate it.
day for all of us.
Oh, is this
wait.
the cat game?
Why don't you come
Is this some, this feels like some Five Nights at Freddy. Oh, this is definitely Five Nights at Freddy shit, isn't it?
It won't happen
It's
again.
gotta be.
Yeah, it's Five Nights at Freddy's. So this is a giant no for me.
It was just a glitch.
Why is it that creepy?
It is one of the fucking like it's like old like 80s animatronics fucking scary. So it's unsettling.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ah!
What the fuck?
And it's just jump scares, because fuck you.
Security breach?
That's every Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Yeah. The fuck?
So apparently Scott's not done making Five Nights games. All right.
Yeah, no.
Well, at least
I
in
mean,
good news, Matt Pat from
might as well
Game
keep
Theorist
going.
is going to have like 5 more videos now.
Adam, they're making them just for you, just to terrify.
Well,
you.
they're doing a terrible job at it because I haven't bought one. Oh, PlayStation Studios. Hello.
This has to be important.
Oh, this could be the Demon Souls remake potentially.
Oh, it could be.
I mean, they keep saying soul.
Yeah. Soul of the soul is all souly.
Did that person just say this soul? Your soul is mine. Who's Shang Tsunging in this shit?
I did.
I don't think this is
You
Demon
should've known
Souls.
that.
Now that I think about it, this could be something else. Actually, no, wait,
No.
I don't know.
Wait. Unless that's the demon soul.
It might be. I'm not also not familiar with it, so I'm basically just like half guessing. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's the Demon Souls remake.
Oh yeah, this is totally Demon Souls.
Which, by the way,
Okay,
like
you
a lot
should've
of people have
died from
said
that
like
fall.
that this is easily the best one. So now that it's getting like a proper remake is really good for a lot of fans too, because a lot of people didn't really know about this game back in. It really didn't get any attention until Dark Souls. Like this series was pretty quiet.
When did
Yeah, which is crazy.
This
what
was like
console did Demon Souls?
Oh, PS3.
Oh, okay.
Like this is what started it all, and didn't really get nearly as much attention. Dark Souls is what really like started it.
Yes. Yeah.
So you guys are is Dark Souls a good game?
I
Do you
wouldn't
like
know
really
because it
hard
kicks
games?
your ass.
It's really
Hard, Adam?
fucking hard.
If I had time, I probably would get into these because I do like things that are challenging but fair, and that's what these are. They're very challenging, and if you fuck up, it's your fault, and it's learning. But again, like it's that thing that I've said before on the show. I don't have the patience anymore to fail 100 times.
Yeah, me neither. It's like Super Meat Boy 3D adventure game. Like
It's very like it's one of the most like well-made games when it comes to just like mechanics are solid. Like everything is just pinpoint perfection,
Yeah.
and you need your timing down.
yeah, absolutely.
So for Souls players, I'm sure they're clamoring right now, being so much closer to
I have
getting
Dark
this.
Souls 3.
It looks pretty beautiful, like the
That's right.
lighting, the
It's-
environment.
Yeah, don't be fooled by it. It may be beautiful, but you will not be looking beautiful by the time you play this game because you will be
No,
covered
I
in
mean,
pools of
like,
blood over and over again.
No, the visuals are.
You know what
beautifully
I'm
done.
saying. I'm not saying that it looks like shit. I'm saying that you will look like shit because you're going
Also,
to die
that lighting.
constantly.
That
No,
lighting
again,
was.
what I'm trying to
spot
say,
on.
Adam, is that it's beautiful in a dark way.
And I
It's not
made a
like
joke in
beautiful-
response.
Okay. Oh, that thing is hideous, and I love it. Oh, it's so disgusting. It's amazing.
And you'll probably die to it at least a couple of times.
Yeah, I am pretty sure that
I would have already been dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that small shield stopped that axe attack.
That one did.
Oh, don't get hit. You only get like 3 hits. Oh, he's got to do it all again.
The crazy
I'm
thing
so
too is they're
upset.
not even putting the health bar in. So can you imagine how terrifying it would be if you played without a health bar?
Oh wow, this is one of the most.
Oh yeah, the
visually
dragon's infamous.
satisfying. Oh wow.
And
This
the other thing
is
too
so
is
visually-
it's open, so you can go to places you probably shouldn't right away and just get your shit pushed in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this looks incredible.
This looks insane.
Like it won't be
No,
my
like-
thing because it's not my kind of game, but man, Souls players, you're getting a fucking amazing treat with this game.
Oh yeah.
Demon Souls. No, that
I know
fucking,
Souls
like-
players, I know it's not Bloodborne 2. I know, believe me, I've seen Reddit over and over again. I know it's not Bloodborne 2, but look. Take what you get because this is going to be pretty fucking sweet by the looks of it.
No, for me, I'm looking at that. This is one of the most visually beautiful games I have ever seen, and the fact that it was gameplay, like that's
Yes, that was gameplay, which
next
is crazy.
level.
Yeah, well,
Another car sound.
So this is probably the Of Gods and Monsters, which got
Oh,
renamed.
Fortnite. It's
Fortnite.
no, this is
never mind.
Fortnite.
Of course, it's Fortnite. I want to be mad, but if it's no, I can't.
Of course, it's gonna be there.
You know, the thing is though, I can't even joke about liking Fortnite like I do with Madden because I don't know. I
don't see the appeal of it in terms of playing it as long as people play it for. Like that's the kind of game that's like,
Yeah.
man, I could not play that so much.
Chris, I believe your brother-in-law does enjoy this game quite a bit.
PlayStation Plus collection. What is
The
this?
PlayStation Plus collection.
Are they compounding everything?
A collection of every game that's been on PS Plus.
What could this actually be? Oh, a new benefit?
Oh, see now this is interesting.
Oh, I think.
Okay. Those are all cool games, but what about them?
Wait. These are all PS4 games. I bet you if you sign up for PlayStation Plus, you get all of these day one.
I mean, it would make sense at this point.
My name is Marcus.
My name is Kara.
My name is Connor.
See, that would be super cool because a bunch of these I need to play
Fuck, can't get any
as
more
PS4
fuck EA.
exclusive. Second Son. Like, all of these I wanted to play, and if I got a PS5, I could play all these right away. That'd be pretty sick.
And you can have
So far, I'm seeing nothing here that I'd be like, okay, now I finally get to play that. So I'm all just like, well,
Did you ever play The Last Guardian?
After all we've been.
no, but I didn't care. I've heard so many things that it's a PS2 game on PS4 because the controls are really
Persona
iffy.
5.
Well, yeah, but it's not Royal. I'm still waiting for a good deal on Royal too.
See, I have a bunch of games on here. I gotta play God of War. I gotta play.
See, it would be great
Uncharted
for you
4.
because there's a lot of games that you haven't gotten to yet. So if that's what this is,
Yeah.
that's a great deal for you.
This looks like it.
Yeah, so there you go. So you can basically have, without buying games right away, Chris, just get the console and just start playing.
And just do that. I mean, saying that I won't get Spider-Man would be lying.
Well, I mean, like, you'd have
Very
Miles
much,
Morales
but-
at launch, but after that game is done and you're waiting for
Yeah,
stuff, you
God-
have all these
like-
old games you could go back and go through.
Yeah. Because I really want to play Uncharted 4. That's the only one I haven't played yet. Well, Lost Legacy,
And,
I guess,
and
as
you
well.
know that it must be good because the guy that doesn't really care much for the series even said it was pretty good, so...
Yeah.
We gotta
I thought it
we
was
gotta
a
be
good
getting
ending
close
to
to
the
time here.
series.
Yeah, it's about almost 40 minutes. So yeah, we got to be getting close. There's got to be like 1 or 2 trailers left plus the price, you would think.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, there's the console. So what do we think, guys? $399, $499, or are they going to undercut?
That's what I assume, but I'm willing to be shocked if it's something else. Also, I'm thinking it's like the 17th.
Oh, the date is inconsequential.
There was an image that came up into my Instagram feed.
Don't tell it.
I'm not saying anything, dude.
You're the one who checked Instagram.
You're the one that just said, I saw an image. No.
No.
And...
Boom.
Yep, so they're
That's
matching.
Totally it.
Okay.
We were right. We were right.
And November 12th.
Yo, we get on the 12th?
And you know what? That's literally days before Cyberpunk, if I'm not mistaken.
12. So now you know. Thank you all for joining us today and for being part of this amazing journey.
So, digital edition is very likely for me at this point.
Gaming that drives us to deliver a truly new generation of experiences.
So $399. What the heck is that going to be?
From everyone
That's
at
about
PlayStation,
$500 basically for
we
us.
appreciate your continued support.
Man,
we look forward
perfect.
to you getting your hands
Okay,
on
Google.
PS5
What's $399?
Why do you have to do
Canadian
okay
dollars
Google
for?
on the fucking podcast?
With one more quick look.
You have a phone. Oh wait, one more thing. Okay, guarantee you it's God of War.
One more quick look.
God of War 2. Guarantee you it's God of War 2.
Horizon. Or Horizon.
Well, if
Yeah,
it's,
they
if
never
it's
showed
something new,
Horizon
it's
yet.
God of War 2. If it's something new to shock, it's God of War 2. I guarantee it.
It is. They're making the Omega symbol, aren't they? Yep.
Oh ho ho.
I told you last time we did this big thing that God of War 2 was going to be a thing they show, and Vish was like, no, it's too early.
What does that spell?
This is one of the things I saw.
See, if you could just
I don't
put
think-
your phone down for 2 fucking minutes.
Boom!
Oh, Ragnarok.
Yep. Ooh.
Q4 2024. Like, when is this coming? Oh, wow, next year. That's pretty damn cool. So I gotta play the
That'll
first
probably be
one.
the big holiday for next year.
Yeah. I feel like that's like closer to the end of 2021.
And that looks like it's it. I'm gonna quickly see on the video source. So there's like 2 minutes left. Is it just endless shit?
Let's go.
Yep, that's it. So we're gonna stop here.
Alrighty.
We're stopping?
All right, back onto the show.
Why's my mouse being weird?
So, nothing honestly that kind of just made me go, holy shit, but we finally got a lot of answer questions.
How much it's gonna cost?
I mean, like I said, Final Fantasy 16, obviously a big thing, but this is gonna be the big one for me, because I mean, Final Fantasy to me, and I don't know what you think, Chris, Final Fantasy has not been truly good since 10.
I can imagine that.
Like truly good, like masterpiece good, I think 10.
Yeah, I would say 10. 14 is really good, but like that doesn't count MMO. I would say 10 is the last like main series one. Yeah.
Yeah, like
for
12
sure.
was 12 is okay. Like 12 is okay. 13 is I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
And
13
15
doesn't exist.
And 15 is great until the second half of the story, in which case I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it feels like Final Fantasy that after 10 was the last true Final Fantasy from what I hear.
Well, they abandoned turn-based from then on.
Oh, I did really like 12. Now that I think about it, I did like 12 a lot.
I mean, 12 basically is Star Wars the Final Fantasy game. So there is a lot to like.
Yeah.
But like I think since they took
13
away
and beyond for sure.
Since they got rid of the ATB system, I think it's really downgraded. Now the Final Fantasy VII remake may change my mind when the whole thing's out and I can play it in full. But
You never bought the first part, right?
No, I don't. See, as somebody who's already played it, there is no reason for me to play a part of it and then wait 3 years to play another part of it. I'd rather just play it all at once. And you'll get a better price for it if you wait.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely,
so yeah, I mean 16, like a good. I love the fact that we're going kind of back to roots, at least in terms of how it is. Like we're in medieval setting. They talk about crystals. We're looking at cool summons. Like it looks like it's not meant to be gimmicky. There's no cars. There's no fucking crazy airship shit. It's just fucking swords, magic. Let's fucking go. I like that.
Is crystals a big part of Final Fantasy?
It was for like all the way up until about what?
Final Fantasy 5.
Yeah, 5 was like really the last one that did the crystals, I think.
Yeah. So they're bringing those back is huge. There was one in Final Fantasy 9, but it was more of an homage.
It was a running joke in the old Final Fantasy games that it was always, you are one of 4 heroes to go collect 4 crystals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm curious, but again, like, I've been so unimpressed with Square's treatment of Final Fantasy minus 14, them saving it. Because, like, 15 could have been a really good game, and it wasn't, because they really botched the story because they rushed it out the door. But, you know, if they take the proper time working on it, maybe it ends up being the salvation that it needs. Next up, we had Spider-Man's gameplay, which, I mean, you weren't going to see anything that you weren't going to already like, because it was basically a Game of the Year redux all over again. So what's so bad about it?
Yeah.
It's basically a new Spider-Man Game of the Year, but in 60 frames and even better like slightly better graphics. It's like, what, you can't really ask for much more at that point. Unless they turn around and be like, oh yeah, and if you get like maybe down the road they'd be like, oh, if you get Miles Morales, you get a free copy of the original Spider-Man digitally upgraded to PS5. Like, who knows?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely going to be something that I pick up like, well, day one.
But it's just like, I just wonder if that game itself is going to be like, if it's going to be just almost like, if it's going to be like a full like 20 to 30 hour game, or if it's going to be like a small.
I mean, if it's 15, 20 hours, that's not a bad thing. Because it'll likely be a good 15, 20 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Will they price it full?
Well, no, they'll price it full.
$79.99
Of course,
Canadian.
they'll price it full. I'd be shocked if they didn't at this point.
It'll be interesting.
I mean, again, like, I'm at the point now that full price games don't mean much to me because I can usually wait until they drop anyway. So,
yeah.
Otherwise, we finally got Hogwarts Legacy, a long rumor that really is taking a lot of time to go through. I'm pretty happy to see that and to know that it has almost nothing to do with Harry Potter at all, other than the fact that it's set in Hogwarts. Double plus for me, because now you know it's going to be your own story. It's not going to be tying into anything. It's not meant to be like I mean, it could be a prequel in some aspect, but it's so far in the past that it really doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's 150 years in the past.
I think it's really like, that's what I love about the Fantastic Beasts storyline is that there's no source material. You don't know what's going on. Like, it's almost like a fresh take on the Harry Potter lore. So that's what I like about this, that this is going to be a fresh take on the Hogwarts and Harry Potter lore. It's not that it's just because, again, the whole thing, if they made it about Harry Potter, we know how it ends.
And we've already seen enough. We've seen enough of that.
Exactly.
You can only retell that story so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, I think this is a good time because the last movie came out in 2011. Like, next year will be 10 years, which is holy fuck. What that was the time going?
Yeah.
Like, next year will be the 10-year anniversary of the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So
it's crazy.
It's a good time for people to be like, oh, you know what? Hasn't been anything new Harry Potter in a long time.
And I would definitely love to see gameplay of that too, because I mean, they really only showed like rough stuff about it. So I'd love to know like what kind of gameplay.
I thought they showed a good amount of gameplay, dude.
No, they didn't.
The dragon fight, I thought it was really cool that like you actually need to dodge it like it's Uncharted.
I don't believe anything until I see a HUD. That's the thing I've learned from a lot of trailers is until I see a HUD, I don't believe fucking shit.
Fair enough.
Because I've heard things that it was going to be more like a Dragon Age game. Because again, this is a game that was supposedly in production for quite a while, so this could be something that they've maybe changed over time. So who knows? That's the only thing again, like I said when we were watching the video, I want to give people just a warning. This is a game that apparently has been in production for a long time. This had a lot of time going in pre-production, maybe had some changes. It was in limbo for a while. So just keep in mind, they might have had to rework some stuff that might have been designed for a game that would have been 5 years old by this point. So just be aware.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. And you know what? Maybe the delay is a good thing because they probably want to do more with it.
I don't know if a delay in this case is the same thing. This isn't Cyberpunk delaying it a year. This is a game that went actually into developmental hell. Like, this is a game that was nearly canceled. So this could also be a case where, very much like Last Guardian, because I was talking about it when we were going through the PlayStation Plus collection stuff, that it was supposed to be a PS2 game. Like, this is how long ago that thing was meant to be. So when it came out, the graphics looked pretty good for PS4, but the gameplay was still designed like a PS2 game. Like, it was so outdated. So the only risk with a game like Hogwarts Legacy is that the gameplay might feel out of date. That's the one thing people need to be aware of. So that's why I'd say wait until they show everything, because you got to make sure. Because they might be able to sell you on Hogwarts, but they might not be able to sell you on the game part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
A bunch of quick things, because pretty much everything else was all stuff we already knew about. So we got Black Ops, we got a little bit of showing there. Pretty basic Call of Duty gameplay trailer. It's the same that you see every year.
Since the pricing is the same, and now with them revealing their PlayStation Plus incentive, are you still feeling that Xbox's Game Pass plan is the more economical and better choice, or do you like the...
Well, that's the thing, right?
The idea of their PlayStation Plus...
PlayStation Plus collection is not Xbox Game Pass. Let's be very clear on this. Because it sounds to me like it's just their games, like just a few of the major ones on PS4. Xbox Game Pass puts games that are launching on its service.
Yeah.
So Game Pass at this point is still better, but PlayStation Plus is making at least a run of at least not being completely worthless.
Yeah.
So it's better. It doesn't do anything for me personally, because the list of games they showed are all games I've beaten or don't care about anymore. So for me, it means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Whereas Game Pass will put on indie games and games of their system that are on Xbox that I don't get to play, so it's a little bit different in that aspect. But if I own an Xbox, Game Pass is still way better than PlayStation Plus, without question. Without question.
Yeah, Sony would have had to have it where the Miles Morales game is included.
Yeah, that would
PS
have to be
Plus.
the equivalent.
Yeah, because that's how Game Pass does it.
Or
Obviously, they don't.
Or
have
Last of Us 2,
launch.
for example, like something recent, like Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2. It would have to be something like that.
Yeah,
but because it's
that
Last of Us
great.
Remastered, Uncharted 4, like all these games that are multiple years old, it's more coming off of, hey, now you don't have to spend $20 to get this game, which is still cool if you haven't either played them before or you just want the free upgrades, and maybe some of them aren't getting free upgrades if you already own the game. So it's an easy way out. But as if you compare the two between that and Game Pass, it's still nowhere close. Game Pass still is running away with that race.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, do you want the really good exclusives, or do you want the subscription service for new games that aren't necessarily?
Well, that's the thing. Sony has no reason to really push that hard on it, because they have the exclusives to win that part of the debate. So
I think Xbox is just going to have a lot of second consoles now.
I even saw a news
Xbox
story
will
that
be a lot
apparently
of second
Xbox
consoles.
isn't even looking at crazy exclusives in the first year of its console. They're more looking in creating like a good system. Which, if that's their marketing strategy, like I said, I don't know if it was the last episode or the episode before, but I said it's nice that they're carving out their niche rather than fighting over Sony's. They're saying, look, we want gamers that just have a massive library in front of them and not have to think about spending all their time like looking at stuff. They can just try something and go for it. Whereas Sony's like, we got the best games every year. Like, that's their goal. And Nintendo is like, we want to make you pay $60 for emulated games. So, you know, it's its own niche.
They've all got their niche.
Moving on to other stuff, but like, yeah, Call of Duty, it's the same shit you've always seen. Resident Evil,
cinematic, not at all.
It's basically cinematic trailer, nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, it's a horror game, it's a Resident Evil game. You've seen it enough times, you know what you're expecting. Deathloop. Oh, sorry.
Yep. No, I don't know. I'm not liking the path Resident Evil is taking.
You wanted action, but they're giving horror. So
no.
Yeah,
I have
they're going
no problem with the
full
horror. I just the whole thing of like, I just don't think first-person shooter suits Resident Evil. The over-the-shoulder
Can I ask a question? Why is first-person bad for a horror game?
It's not the first person's bad for a horror game. It's for the series itself. So
isn't that what Resident Evil is? Isn't that what Resident Evil is?
No, it's not, because
really, because Resident Evil 7 tells me that they wanted to go back to the horror roots that the original games were.
That the tone of the game, which is fine. I'm talking about the mechanics of the game. So, for example, when they introduced the over the shoulder in Resident Evil 4, everyone's like, "Oh, this is great. This is perfect." They put it in Resident Evil 5. I know a lot of people didn't like Resident Evil 5.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Personally, I thought it was a good game. It was just a glorified Resident Evil 4. There was nothing special about it. But then Resident Evil 6 doesn't exist. But then when they introduced the Resident Evil 2 remake, instead of making it first person, and it was released after Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, so what's the
they
problem with them
released
doing
it
both?
Because if you're going to make a game like this with a completely different mechanic, completely different format, it should be a new game, not brand new Resident Evil. Because okay, but if you're going to make Resident Evil 7 first-person shooter, why go back and remake Resident Evil 2 as an over-the-shoulder shooter?
So it gives
and
people
then
options?
same thing with Resident Evil 3.
So it gives people options?
Continuing.
Why would you?
But it's continuing the same storyline from the original game. That's the part where
what does that have to do with its mechanics?
I'm conflicted on. What I'm going with the mechanics is that Resident Evil 4 was the first game to really introduce.
I understand that, but you just said that 7, if it wanted to go first person, why would they remake 2? Why? What's the difference here?
Why would they remake 2 after they made Resident Evil 7, but change the format of the game from a over the shoulder or from that, or like a third person view that the series has always been, to a first person view?
Because they wanted to have different options for people. Because if some people didn't want the crazy, here's
there isn't
here's
the
the thing.
Option. It's a.
What do you mean there isn't a different option?
Some games offer that you can play the entire game third person or first person, but this is strictly first person, and I feel it changes the game completely. I feel it's no longer Resident Evil.
Then that's your opinion, but apparently a lot of people didn't seem to think that, because they thought 7 was one of the best Resident Evils ever made. Because, I mean, look, this is the thing. Capcom is being smart about this. They said, okay, we're going to try something different here, and 7 was really successful. They're like, okay, so apparently people like the first-person thing, because 7 is not an action game. Let's be completely honest. 7 is a horror game through and through. They didn't want to be about action in this one. But then there were probably some people like you, Vish, that were pining over the old days. So they said, okay, let's remake 2 and 3, and I'm sure they're going to remake 4. And they're giving people that option. So it's like, hey, if you like the older ones, here's that for you. They're giving everybody that chance who likes horror games, because horror games aren't just one thing. So the idea that they're giving a first-person and a third-person option...
Most horror games aren't really horror games. And same with most horror movies aren't really horror movies. They're designed to have the horror elements, but they're more action.
But that doesn't mean they have to be shooty, bang, bang action. Because Silent Hill exists.
I get that.
So
I think
what Capcom probably wanted to do, because Resident Evil had failed twice in a row doing the third-person shooty, bang, bang, that they went, hey, let's go back to our roots, which was in horror. And in order to do the best thing that you can do in horror, where you complete... Let me finish. Okay. If they want to go full horror, the best way to do that is first person. And the reason that is because when there's nothing preventing your vision from seeing anything outside of it, you're immersed. That's why VR works so well with Resident Evil 7 VR. If you truly wanted to be scared, that game fucks with you, because if it was third person, it would make no sense. because you would know you're not in a real world. But when that VR headset goes on, you fucking, even though you know you're not playing, you're not in real life, you feel like it because there's nothing telling your vision otherwise. So if you want to really scare the shit out of somebody, you put it in first person because all they do is see what's in front of them.
Okay, that's fine. All I'm saying is that if it was branded as Resident Evil, if they were to remake Resident Evil,
you're basically
2 and
saying
3,
that you don't think Resident Evil should be first person, in which case that's not your decision.
That's fine. I know I have no control over that. I know what my opinion or what my views aren't going to really influence anything. I just think it makes no sense to remake Resident Evil 2 and 3 in third person, but continue on the series in a different format.
And I'm saying your train of logic makes no sense here at all. Because why can't you do both? Final Fantasy has had different systems its entire genre. Kingdom Hearts has different kind of gameplay. There's Chain of Memories, for fuck's sakes, which is a card battle game. You don't have to limit your series to one style of gameplay. In fact, that's probably the most horrible thing you can do because it limits you. It pigeonholes you into one concept.
Yeah.
I would not want any game for 15 editions to be literally the same thing. That's why Call of Duty for a lot of people is boring now. Because it's just the same game. It's why sports games for so many people are so grating. It's so grating because it's the same thing. So if Resident Evil just went the same route 15 times in a row and it's just a different story, eventually some people are going to get tired of it. And I think that's why so many people really like 7 because it was such a fresh look. They're not saying it's better or worse than the third-person games, but they're saying it's a nice, fresh addition. And I think the ability to do both puts Capcom and the Resident Evil name to a much better place because now it can't get stale because assuming that they continue this path where they go back and forth, you're never going to get to a point where they feel too samey because they're not under the same concept every single edition.
Do you think they should eventually one day maybe make Resident Evil 7 a third-person game?
No, what they should do is that somewhere down the road they can make a Resident Evil 9 and make that a third person. And then if they want to do that for another game, or maybe they make Resident Evil 1, remake it, and do that in first person and just mess with it. If they keep changing it up, I think that keeps it fresh. I'm not saying either or is better. I'm just saying I like the fact that they're right now, at least at this current juncture, doing both, so it gives people that option.
Yeah, especially since 7 and 8 seem to be where there isn't really, or at least with 7, there's not many weapons.
Not to mention 8 is still carrying on 7, so it would make no sense to make 7 third person or make 8 third person when it's coming from 7.
Sorry, I didn't hear you properly on that one.
It would make no sense also to make 8 third person because it's legitimately a sequel to 7. So it would make sense to keep that format.
Yeah, they're that Ethan? Is that his name?
it's the end of his story from what I understand in 8. So there's always the possibility they can make 9 back to third person. There's always that open possibility.
Yeah. It could just be that this Ethan character, you always see it from his eyes.
Yeah.
Also, from what I'm seeing, that this is gonna be the last story for Chris as well in the series.
Now, that doesn't mean he's gonna die. But it's a Resident Evil game, so...
Resident Evil never killed any of their main characters besides Wesker, but even then, that's never...
Yeah, but Wesker can always come back.
Permanent.
There's always something they can do. There's always...
It is a show about a Walking Dead of people, if you will.
Yeah. They could figure out a way. If they
and
really
that is
wanted
finally
to.
ending.
At the same time, too, I think it's great that they're at least trying to just not be pigeonholed by the same thing that they've always been, because everybody just thinks stars now when they think Resident Evil, right? So...
Stars.
But yeah, I mean, look, it's I personally I have no skin in the game because I don't like horror games. So, but it's the idea.
Yeah, there's
that,
no way I'm playing that. I would be way too scared.
Yeah, it's just again, it's that whole thing where.
But it looks cool.
Yeah, like clearly it's designed for horror fans, and they seem to be okay with it because 7 did as well as it did. I'll wait until 8 gets speed run on the next Games Done Quick, and that'll be my experience with Resident Evil.
That's pretty much the only way I can watch it.
Resident Evil 7 on a speed run?
Yeah.
How long did it take?
I think it was like an hour and a half.
Was it a proper speed run or was it a glitch run?
I don't think there was glitching to it. I think they just ran right through it. Because again, if you know, the thing with a lot of Resident Evil games, if you know what you're doing, you can go through it really fast. Because a lot of it's puzzles, figuring out where to go on the map, like it's a lot of that's just like going back and forth. Because Resident Evil games, generally speaking, is so much backtracking because you're trying to find the one thing that you didn't fucking find.
Yeah, it really is. I will definitely admit to that.
And then dying several times because while you're trying to backtrack to find the fucking thing you got killed by a dog because fuck the dogs.
Yeah, I know. That's the only time that I have no problem killing dogs because A, they're all
they'll kill you otherwise.
They're fucking bastards.
It's like you better kill them, otherwise you're not getting any further in this game.
No, they're coming after you.
Yeah. But the only other time you have to really kill animals in a game is Metal Gear Solid 3.
Well, apparently Last of Us Part 2, which is not too fun.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that one would feel a lot more real to me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's... You know what? It's the sound. It's like... And it's like...
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
I will play the game eventually. I am not in any rush to do it because of just all the backlash. Like, I hear the game...
I thought you were going to say because you still have to watch The Expanse. Mr. I watch Cobra Kai instead.
Cobra Kai is just simple. You know, the thing is, though, it's like...
Here comes the excuse train. Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo-choos.
The honest truth is that nowadays when I watch shows, I just need something just easy to watch. It doesn't need a lot of concentration. It doesn't need a lot of focus. And The Expanse seems like it does need focus and concentration on it.
Watch The Expanse.
It definitely does.
Watch
The Expanse.
Moving on, bunch of other things again that we've already seen. Deathloop again, like I said, they need to explain this fucking game better. I still don't understand like 100%
I'm confused.
What we're
I actually don't know what you're supposed to. I get the gameplay, but I don't.
I get
know
that
what
I
the
shoot shit. I can understand
is.
that part. I'm good at that. I can handle that part. What's the rest of it? What's the other character that's apparently fucking with you? Is that playable? Is that like a whole separate campaign? Is that multiple? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
And I'm sure somebody in the comments one day will be like, well, if you read the story, I don't fucking should have to go to an article to see that. They should be able to tell me in their fucking video trailers.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, yeah. Oddworld.
Nothing crazy there.
I'm sure, like I said, Oddworld, I'm sure there's a lot of people interested, but it ain't me. Five Nights at Freddy's, fuck off. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right? Just fuck right off with that one.
Demon Souls Remake, 100% Souls players will fucking love that because it's basically everything they love and fucking gorgeous.
I can't believe how good that game looks. Like, it's just a remake of a game, but they remade it.
They clearly spent a lot of time with it.
Yeah.
The remakes have been getting really good lately. Like, Saints Row 3's remake was apparently fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, apparently Mafia 1 is really good.
That I'm looking forward to. So yeah,
Prince of Persia, that's coming.
We were going to talk about that on this show, and then we looked at it and we went, nah, it's not worth talking about.
No,
so in other words,
thank you.
Let's continue to hashtag fuck Ubisoft.
Hashtag.
Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah, of course. I mean, to anybody who's surprised that Fortnite's going to be on PS5, Fortnite's going to be on everything for a long fucking time.
The only thing,
to the Apple Watch.
Well, not anymore. It's not.
No,
I don't think it's possible for it to come to the Apple Watch.
Well, even if it was, it's not possible now because Epic and Apple aren't going to be getting along anytime soon.
No. No, I wonder if they'll even make up with Google. I have no idea.
I've said it before. The only thing that I will give Fortnite credit for is it took a lot of kids away from games that we would have normally played.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like we said earlier, the PlayStation Plus collection, good deal for new players. I don't know so much if it's going to be a good deal for people who have already been PlayStation Plus members forever. I don't know if that does anything.
This is for new people.
This
is for people who didn't have a PS4.
It's definitely for people who have not owned a console or have been on Xbox for a while.
Just call it the Chris Sumner collection because that's what it's going to be, and that's what I'm going to
like. Basically, this is how they get Xbox players
CSC.
over. It's like, hey, we got really good games. Oh, by the way, you don't want to spend $100, $200 for all the games that you've missed so far? No problem. pay us this much a month, you get them
More
all.
games you've already played so far.
Yeah, I know. For like I said, for us it means nothing. Other than that, quickly teasing God of War Ragnarok. I knew it was coming a while ago. I knew it.
Yep.
That actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting that to be so soon.
I still think it is too soon for that game to be
I mean, if it's as good as it is, who cares? What are you talking about? It's too soon. It's next year.
Yeah, it's like end of next year.
But okay, so
they didn't show anything, by the way. They just said the name.
Okay. If I may give my opinion on it, God of War came out in 2018, and God of War Ragnarok is going to come out in 2021. That's only been 3 years. I just think that gap is potentially too small of a gap for a sequel. I personally think they should have waited 1 more year, 2022. That's just my opinion on that.
If they already have the system built, if they already have the mechanics built, if they already have a lot of the assets built, a lot of the groundwork is done. Not to mention, they could have already been planning this game while making the game. So pre-production may have already ended by the time the game was done.
The planning.
Well, keep this in mind. We don't know how long it took.
Whether it's games or movies.
We don't know how long God of War took
before the initial release of the first one.
We don't know how long God of War took to make. So there is a possibility that this game took 5 years to make. Let's say hypothetically it took 5 years. How much of that was pre-production? That could have been a year, could have been 2 years. So if you have a lot of the game already built, if you have the mechanics already designed, then you already got a good chunk of it done. You could have already been pre-planning it, since you probably already ahead of time figured you were going to make more than one of these. So you're already thinking about what the next story is going to be. So you could already have a team sitting in the background while they're polishing the current game, already figuring out what they're going to do for the next one. And as soon as they're done polishing, bam, we're already ready to go. Let's start working on the game again. So 3 years might not actually be that much time.
I actually, you know what? I'm just thinking about it right now. And between God of War and God of War 2, and even between Uncharted and Uncharted 2, the gap between those games and those sequels was actually 2 years. So technically,
IPs, once you've started them, it's not that hard to restart. It's not Final Fantasy. They're not completely retooling it. They're not making completely new assets. They're not making a fucking gigantic story. This is stuff that they have already done now.
Actually,
there's assets pre-made.
I will say God of War itself definitely does, between the first 3 games, God of War 1, 2, and 3, there was a significant difference between the mechanics of the games. Maybe not the combat mechanics.
Well, no, but what I mean is, like, they're not going to drastically change the system. It's not going to go from a beat 'em up to a JRPG. Like, they're not going to have to do a lot of groundwork. They're going to add moves, they're going to add weapons, they're going to add some more combos, they're adding different enemies, but they're not changing the core. It's the same with Miles Morales. That's why they can pump that out so quick, is because they're not changing that much. They're just doing new story, new locations. Well, they're doing more asset work than they are doing gameplay work.
Yeah, because the code's already
built.
The code's already there.
I believe that game came out in 2018. If I'm
and that game's about to come out this year. So
okay,
I understand why you're probably worried, just because you're thinking, well, maybe it's rushed. I don't think in this, especially because this is Sony and also their exclusives have had a really good track record right now. I think it's safe to say we shouldn't be giving them any pessimism, because so far they've proved that that's worth our time to not do.
I know.
So
my only concern is, and this is coming from when we had the Wii, that
this is already a bad comparison, but okay.
I know. Okay, so with the Wii, like, the big games were always the first party games. And the Wii didn't have much going for it beyond the first party games.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I get concerned is releasing a flagship title like God of War within the first 12 months of the console's existence gives us less to look forward to. Like, don't get me wrong, there could be another sequel to God of War
there will.
within the lifespan of the PS5, and there probably will be. But I think, like, I don't know, maybe I'm being a dumbass right now. Adam, don't respond to that. But I just think that for a flagship first-party title, I just think it may be better as for the consumer and for the fans to wait a little. I understand why they're doing it because you know what? I heard God of War Ragnarok, and I'm like, oh boy, how much do I have to? How many? I need to go start stripping on the polls to start earning money for the fucking PS5. But I just find that releasing it right away as a flagship and opening title to the console, I think it's too soon. But that's maybe I'm talking as a fan, and I just think it gives less to look forward to. But there could be something else coming along. So I'm just. Maybe if I'm making any sense at all right now.
I think what their plan is, because we've seen that the PS4 to PS5, the graphical jump isn't that huge. It's more about adding ray tracing, faster loading times, more objects versus like better looking objects, like just basically taking what we already have and making it more powerful. Once they built Spider-Man, Horizon, and God of War, they were like, all right, we're making the PS5. Make another one of these because it doesn't have to be much different than what's already there. Just use the assets, expand on it, add new lighting, faster load times, just make it bigger. Keep it the same, but make it bigger. They can release those within the first year, and then they can start working on the next ones, which will be the trilogy. There'll be a trilogy of all three of those games, which will release on PS5, and it'll be the third one that'll be the bigger graphical jump because it'll be later in the system's lifetime anyways. Because if you look at a PS4 game from like year one versus a PS4 game from 2018, 2019, obviously they look pretty vastly different. And I think that's what they're kind of banking on. Send out the second of the games for God of War, Horizon, and Spider-Man right at the beginning, and they'll make a trilogy of all three, and they'll be closer to the middle/end of the PS5's life cycle.
Okay.
That's what I think their plan is as a business. I think that's what they're doing.
All right.
Okay.
So I am going to take a massive sip here before I school Vish on this one.
Uh-oh. I'm going to take a sip too.
So I can just deal with it.
So there are a lot of things you said that I don't understand. So you said they shouldn't put something as a flagship within the first 12 months of a console's life cycle because there wouldn't be so much for fans to look forward to. I don't think fans really give a shit when it means a God of War game is coming out 12 months within their biggest purchase of potentially the next 7 years. So right away, you're giving people a reason to get that console right away. As a business practice, that's already an amazing thing. But as a fan, that means you know you're getting your money well spent. Not to mention, you're getting a God of War game in less than 16 months. That is a major thing right now. That would be like if they came out with another Uncharted and be like, hey, you guys are getting an Uncharted in the next 2 years. People would be like, that's fucking great. Same with Horizon. All these things you're getting in the first 12 months, you know you're getting quality and you're getting high-ass quality because these are not, it's not Sony working on 3 games at the same time. It's 3 major studios under the Sony banner.
Stoney.
Working on 3 major games at the same time. You're getting Miles Morales, Horizon 2, and God of War Ragnarok potentially all in the span of 12 months. As a consumer, that is fucking great. That is absolutely fucking tremendous. Now, on the other side, if it means they won't have much to look forward to in the future, well, if they have a game every 3 years at the way that this works, you could potentially have 3 new God of War games in this life cycle. And I don't think fans are going to say no to that. So that's also not going to happen. And at the same time, there are still studios Sony hasn't talked about yet. There are still things that we don't know about yet. There is a lot going on that we still don't know about, and that's first party. That's first party. So believe me, just because God of War may not happen until, let's say, 2025 from the next little while, that's not a bad thing because there's going to be a shit ton more coming in those 3 years in between. So the idea that them coming so soon, if the game ends up sucking because they rush it out the door, then we can have that conversation next year. But they have had a track record for about the last 5 years minimum with their exclusives that everything under that first party banner is at least 7 to 8 out of 10 and a proper 7 to 8 out of 10 IGN out of 10 in terms of fucking ratings. Not a, well, I kind of like this game, but it's not really that good. It should have been a 5. No, it's a proper good or great game every time. So even if they quote unquote rush it, the likelihood of it being bad is really unlikely, given especially that they've already previously made a game that was a masterpiece and they're just taking from it and writing a new story. The only way this game sucks is if the story is garbage or it's a buggy mess. And I don't see the buggy mess happening, so it's just up to the story. And that still may not necessarily take it away from a good rating, it just may take it away from a 10. And if the worry is that it might be an 8, oh no, it might still be a great game. What a poor thing for people. So look.
Question, are you still... Because I remember when it first got announced, like, you were never a God of War fan, but
I'm still curious about
intrigued.
it. I might grab it if this PlayStation Plus collection is a thing that I can go for. Maybe I do end up playing it at some point.
I will just lend it to you.
Or I can just wait now because it's only 2 months. And I probably, if you lend it to me, I wouldn't play it right away anyway, by the way. So,
also, if you get the digital version.
I'm just trying.
He's trying to pawn his games off on me, guys.
No, dude, I literally said lend it. I didn't say I'll give it to you for $50.
Well, just in that case, I will remind you, and you won't see this on camera, but people on the stream will see it. I still have your copy of Doom here because you lent it to me. So if I just stay quiet, I'll just completely keep this game.
But you don't have that. You sold it to me for $30.
So look. If your only fear is that it might be less quality because it seems too soon, I don't think that will be an issue either because Sony would delay it. If it really ends up not being good quality, they'll delay it because Last of Us got delayed.
Yeah.
And apparently it's still a masterpiece.
And they may be delayed still.
Yeah. The game itself, I hear, is a masterpiece, but it's just...
Well, no, but that's besides the point. Critically, the game is a masterpiece. Critically, it's a masterpiece. Yeah. So...
And honestly, user-wise, from people who I know who have played it, said it's awesome.
Again, I'm not here to get into Last of Us 2. I'm just making the example that they delayed a game, it came out just fine. And they're willing to delay what was essentially the biggest game that year. Or I guess this year, because it's technically still this year. But, I mean, look, if you're worried about the 2021 date, they didn't say anything in terms of an actual date. They just said a year. They can push it however they want. It could be literally November next year, and then change their mind and say March the following year. You know, that's an option they have. It's not set in stone.
As long as
Cyberpunk was set in stone twice, and they delayed it. So dates don't mean shit.
As long as they put something out of quality, that's...
And if you have a fear right now that they won't, you might not be that good a strong a fan because they've shown the track record.
I know.
Also, I think we don't have to worry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that we don't have to worry because they're still holding on to their main big release that probably won't come until halfway into the console
Horizon,
cycle. They haven't shown us
that, and they haven't pushed it. They didn't even show it in this trailer.
No, they haven't shown.
That tells you that it's not even ready yet. They're like, nope, it'll come when it comes. And that's the kind of thing that Sony is doing right now because and this is the other thing too, their entire model now is on their exclusives. So you know that they're going to make damn sure that they're in good quality because that's their marketing tactic.
I get that. The only thing is, like, for myself, because I have been a God of War fan since God of War.
Have you hated a game from that series?
I thought God of War 3 was a letdown.
Have you hated a game in the series?
Okay, let me just go. Okay, there was one game after
I don't want you to give me just tell me yes or no.
Okay, Adam, may I explain, please? All I'm saying is there was a game after God of War 3 that was released on the PS3, and it was universally panned.
Are you talking the PSP game that got ported? Because that's a different story.
No. This is a PS3 game. I believe it's God of War Inception. It essentially, God of War lost its uniqueness. It just felt like a formulaic game at that point.
I mean, it's a beat 'em up, so it's kind of hard to make them not.
God of War was known to be quite unique in their combat style and their leveling up style. With this one was known to be... I've never even played this one. It was that panned that it got to the point that even with God of War 3, it felt like the exact same game, but just copy and paste.
So I'm looking at the Metacritic ratings. So the lowest one is this one, Ascension, and it was given an 80.
And that was on the PS3, am I correct?
Yes. Now, did you hate that game?
Okay. I've never played it, but it was universally panned to the point that I just didn't even bother with it.
Wait. You never played Ascension?
No.
So then, so ask it again. Have you played a God of War game that you hated?
All I'm trying to say is that God of War 3, when I did play it, it definitely did not have the holy fuck, this is awesome impact that God of War 1 and 2 had for me.
But did you hate it?
A little bit at the end, yes. I felt like it was a letdown.
What would you have rated it?
7.5.
That seems like a good game to me.
But considering
if you're demanding 9 out of 10s or 9s or 10s every game, if you're demanding 9s or 10s, that's really fucking horrible.
I would rate it 9.5. But okay, but I understand, Adam, what you're saying. 7.5 is still not, it's not garbage. But when number 1 I would rate a 10, number 2 I would rate a 9.5, where number 3 I would rate a 7.5. It is a letdown and significant letdown from a series that will start off incredible, like almost perfect to okay. And
then how was God of War 4? How was the newest one?
That one they did make significant changes to everything. God of War 4, I would probably rate it 9.5 and probably rate it the best PS4 exclusive game.
So would it not be fair then to say that they probably have a track record that warrants at least giving them the benefit of the doubt if they're rushing it out? Like, in your words, rushing it?
I'm
trying to talk you down the ledge because I think you're being a little unreasonable. That's the only reason I'm really attacking this, because I think you're getting a little unreasonable about it.
I understand what you're saying. All I'm saying is that a flagship like alpha title like God of War, I just feel it releasing in the first year of the console's life cycle may be too soon.
And I really do not understand why. I don't understand why.
Maybe I am being a little unreasonable about it.
Yes, you are, because the date shouldn't matter. You as a gamer shouldn't care if something else is out sooner. Let's say hypothetically this game is still a 9.5 in your eyes, like it's still that great game. Why does it matter when it comes? Shouldn't you want it to come sooner? Not to mention, if it comes sooner, you don't want to get it right away. You get it sooner at a better price regardless. The sooner it comes out, if it's that high quality, you're going to get a better price sooner.
I have all but stopped buying games
Well, what I'm saying, though, is that you're making a case for a game coming out too soon that you have no idea if it's going to be good or not.
And you know what? Maybe I'm saying this on Ghost of Nintendo Wii's Past. Or after the first party.
I don't think using a completely opposite license gives you warrant to go after something else. I don't go after Cyberpunk because I pre-ordered it, because even though it may end up being not what I hoped it was, it's not just because I had trouble with Mass Effect Andromeda. I don't take that game and then look at Cyberpunk and go, well, but Mass Effect Andromeda wasn't good and I was really looking forward to it. If you think that just because some game wasn't good, that automatically another one might not if it comes out when you don't think it should have, like, again, it's just, you're almost like, and this is coming from a guy who's a fucking massive pessimist in real life, I think there is a thing where it's like, where you look at data, like you look at track records, Sony has not really been fucking up recently. And if it happens to be the fuck up, we'll talk about the fuck up. But I don't think there's any reason to suddenly go, oh my god, they're going to screw this up just because it comes out a little bit sooner than you expected. In fact, the only reaction you probably should be having is, holy shit, there's another game coming out. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Because again, you're worried about a game that we haven't even seen gameplay of yet. We just saw the name.
Yeah, they may have just thrown that together now.
I think this game is going to be legendary. I'm not even just saying that. I legitimately think it's going to be legendary. Because for one thing, like God of War had multiple endings, and one of the endings actually did have Thor in it.
So if it's going to be legendary, who cares if it comes out too soon?
I know. Again, maybe I'm just going from like Ghost of Wii's past.
You are basically acting like a girl who is afraid to date another guy because you have bad baggage right now. That's really what you're doing, and I don't even know why you're doing
gamer
it.
baggage.
Because you're talking about the
Gamer
Wii as your
baggage.
example. The Wii is an old fucking console that, let's be honest, sucked anyway because it had nothing on it. The
Wii
PS5, the PS5
you know what?
will have a
did
lot of
love
shit.
The Wii. I did love the Wii for what it was.
I love the Wii for the 3 things I liked on it. That's it.
Mario Galaxy, Twilight Princess.
It doesn't matter what I actually say.
Wii
the
Sports.
reality is Wii does not have the library that PS4 has had and the library that PS5 will have.
Also, let's just say I actually liked the Wii U better than the Wii.
Oh, well, okay. We're not friends anymore.
Remember, the Wii U can also play Wii games.
This is Chris's last episode on the podcast.
Yep.
We're not the
Wii U's underrated. It just didn't have any games.
Now people know why I do solo streams now.
Honestly,
It's so I finally get these two clowns off my show.
There is a lot of games on the Wii U that were actually great. Like the
5 of them, maybe.
Mario 3D World was actually one of the few Mario games I legitimately found difficult.
If we're talking about nice things about the Nintendo Wii consoles, okay, I'm going to give you guys a challenge. Name me 5 really good games on that console that don't include the words Mario, Zelda, or Metroid.
On which one? Wii or Wii U?
Doesn't matter. Right? You can be both.
Yeah, it's tough for me to do that for either of those.
Fuck you, Adam.
Nintendo
That's
Land.
my case in point.
Yeah, no, that's why
I can
like
name
more than
20 really good games on the PS4, and I can still limit myself to not saying certain other franchises.
Okay. The problem is with Nintendo itself. Nintendo, like when I was in college for marketing, I did an actual group project on Nintendo. And the biggest thing was that we actually had to compete with one other group within the class because two teams chose Nintendos, my group and another group, and we actually won that contest between choosing 2 groups because the thing is with Nintendo in our marketing class in 2007 when the Wii was first coming out. We were talking about like how Nintendo lives off nostalgia, how Nintendo like is able to bring in the old school people to be like, oh, you know what? Oh, by the way, Adam, Metroid Prime.
I literally said you can't say Metroid.
You said no Mario, Zelda, or Metroid.
Metroid.
Yes, I did.
Ah, fuck.
Again,
okay, Smash
listen
Brothers,
to what I say, for fuck's sakes.
Too many things to listen to. But the thing is, though,
3 things?
Nintendo basically lives off nostalgia. And that's really what their forte is. Because if Nintendo never gave the license for Mega Man, I think Mega Man would actually work really well on the Wii with using the Wii mode for targeting lasers and everything. Lasers.
So you guys totally dodged the question too about naming games, but it just proves my point. You were
listen,
you were freaking out about God of War and comparing it to the Nintendo Wii, but you're also comparing it to a console that has nothing on it.
Nintendo lives off nostalgia.
What does that have to do with God of War?
That Nintendo never was really a third-party console besides the Super Nintendo.
What does that have to do with God of War?
That Nintendo
God of War is the first-party title
not able to live off of third-party licenses like PlayStation, Xbox can.
And that doesn't still mean anything because Sony's whole mantra is first-party exclusives. You keep giving me like reasons for why you're worried about that game, and they all have nothing to do with the game. If you're just worried about the game because it might be coming too soon, that's fine. I'm just saying I need to talk you off that ledge because I don't see any reason to feel that way. Because they've proven for the last 5 years that anything under their Sony Studio banner is good.
I'm definitely not going to jump off the ledge for God of War.
I mean, jumping off the ledge of being worried about it.
Like jumping off your couch.
If you're jumping off the ledge of God of War, let's be honest, it's not because you jumped, it's because Kratos threw you off it.
No, Kratos
like a
definitely
Spartan
kicked me
kick.
off it.
Well, either way, he's the reason.
Kratos' kick would have killed me.
He might have thrown you off it with his fucking chain. He just would have grabbed you by the neck and be like, "Come here!" and just wham.
No, I would have begged Kratos just fucking stab me with a blade.
You think he's giving you mercy? You doubted him.
I have a question for you guys.
I'm listening.
So now that they've released the prices, which are fantastic, or well, kind of, we had an idea going in, but either way, are you thinking more digital or disc?
That depends on what June looks like for me. If I was buying at launch, I'd be going digital, but because I have a lot more time in between now, you never know, a deal might come my way.
That's true.
I'm honestly, I don't.
Not to mention, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. What if they do the payment plan the same way that Xbox is doing? Because then the disc version becomes even more, even more potentially possible. Because you're only putting what, 30, 40 bucks a month in.
I buy all my games digital right now. I don't own a single physical copy of a game, so I'll probably just go digital.
Really? What do you use? Steam?
Yeah, well, no, even just my Switch. I don't own a physical game on Switch.
That I didn't know.
Well, Nintendo does. You're not going to get a deal no matter what you do, so you might as well just go digital and not have to go to the store. Nintendo's not going to price it any differently.
Yeah. I just like having it all there downloaded and I'm done.
My thing is I'm definitely not buying it in 2020. 2021 may be a different story.
It all depends on pricing, how the sales come in, especially on Black Friday, for example. If there's a package deal with something ever down the road, like Horizon, for example.
Not
to mention, we don't even know what new consoles are going to look like. We might have new designs in the next year.
I think the earliest I'm going to buy a PS5 is going to be late 2021. Maybe even 2022 or 2023, because frankly,
whenever you watch The Expanse,
possibly. So I think because it's just a whole situation of like when I bought my PS4, I was disappointed when I bought my PS4 because everything was coming out still for PS3.
But now you're upset that they're releasing for PS5 too early.
But is God of War coming out in 2021? Is it though?
I mean, at this point, we have to assume yes. Yeah. Hypothetically, that's where we're at.
I mean, there's still Horizon and Spider-Man by end of 2021. Probably no question.
Well, Spider-Man's going to be launched. Spider-Man Miles Morales is launch.
Yeah, that game must be done. If it's not done, holy crap, they got to.
Oh, it's launch. It is guaranteed launch at this point, as far as I know.
Yeah,
that's the launch game. That's the big one.
I see.
Unlike Xbox having nothing.
Be launched.
No, it's a launch. Yeah. It has to be.
I think you're forgetting about. Oh no, Flight Simulator is also on Xbox One.
No, you're forgetting about Bug Snacks. That's what you're forgetting about.
Oh god, I do not want to play that. I don't I get it, but I don't. Yeah, no, don't.
Oh,
god damn it! Fuck me. Oh, that song's in my head. I can't sleep at night.
Talking about Bug Snacks.
Oh god.
Viva Pinata.
Why are the bugs just little burgers and stuff? Why?
Why the fuck not?
All right, I get it.
One of these days, we're gonna do a stream. We're all gonna eat an edible and play that game.
I'm so there.
Adam, Adam, I'm gonna handcuff you when you eat an edible because I'm telling you those things fuck you up.
I feel like being handcuffed
I'm eating 2 edibles.
While having the edible will be what
I'm gonna double handcuff you just so you don't hurt yourself.
69 edibles. Oh wait, that's too much. 6.9 edibles.
No, just do one. My god.
Okay, Chris, you know what? I've done all I could. You're taking care of him after I handcuff him.
Okay. Well, I know that handcuffing him is going to make it worse. Because
that's going to turn me on.
Yeah, that's not where I was going with it. I was thinking it would get. I'd be freaked.
We're giving him edibles, not ecstasy.
How do you know that doesn't have the effect on me? I don't know if it has the effect on me. I've never done an edible before.
We don't know what handcuffs do to him.
No, I know what handcuffs do to me. I've been in handcuffs. I know what they do to me.
They wouldn't be furry. They would just be regular handcuffs. Not furry
I know what handcuffs do to me. They keep me from moving my hands.
Ayo. No, but
actually, I've never been handcuffed, so I wouldn't know. I'm a good boy. I've never been handcuffed. Or was I a bad boy?
A bad boy? Well, this is the VCR Podcast, also
Where-
known as VCR Podcast After Dark.
I was going to say this is the After Dark version now. We're past 2 hours. It's After Dark now.
Well, it's not 2 a.m. yet, so
It's 2 a.m. somewhere.
you have a point.
That is true. That is
So
true.
you're going
It might
all the
be
way
somewhere in the
back.
middle of the ocean.
Going all the way back.
No, it's more like England.
The pricing is honestly what it's supposed to be. They matched. They basically matched Xbox, which makes sense. I've seen people said they should have undercut them. I say why? They've already won. I think IGN even did a poll that said 68% of people plan to buy a PS4 or a PS5. It's like, what need do you have to charge to $50 less? People, like, you already have almost like you actually have 2/3 of all the market potentially coming your way anyway. So why change the price? But the digital edition being $399, that's pretty fair. $100, they'll make that back real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fun.
So apparently,
I think it's a fair pricing, but I'm not gonna get it right away, and that's mainly because of my situation. So who knows if things change? I may just get it because then I can have one console for 2 consoles. But I think it's going to really, especially with the whole situation like we saw with Miles Morales Spider-Man, the fucking transitions was revolutionary.
It's going to be that big selling feature of just like everything's so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of going fast, that's a perfect segue. I just checked our news, and the PS5 was supposed to get its pre-order starting tomorrow. Best Buy, Walmart, EB Games, GameStop, everybody went a day
my friend
early.
bought 3 from PS5, bought 3 PS5s already.
Yeah, it's sold out.
Why?
Yeah.
Why did he buy 3?
Pre-orders went...
Oh, he's a douchebag and a half.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, he's
so
the
it
one.
went
You
live.
shouldn't be
He's
friends
one of
with
those-
him. You shouldn't be around him anymore.
No. Here's the thing: the good outweighs the bad for him. But he's one of those guys.
That's a douche move. That's a real douche move.
No, he's one of those guys who complain about MJ being black and Spider-Man.
No. I don't care about that stuff. He's a douchebag. He's taking 2 consoles away from people.
Oh please, he is the poster child of douchebaggery.
So don't be friends with him. There, problem solved.
No, there's more.
Done.
There's more good than bad. With
Nope.
him.
Nope. The bad outweighs the good.
Pre-orders are live everywhere, and they're all sold out.
That's not surprising.
Everywhere. That
You know
was
what?
fast.
Here's the thing: we're not fucking idiots, so we're not going to go and like blow $1,000 right away.
Who is blowing
Oh, no, I'm not gonna do
$1,000?
Because people are okay. Have you never seen that thing where that fucking idiot
Vish?
goes and buys consoles? Yes.
I don't care about eBay.
No. This one fucking moron, every time a new console comes out, he goes and buys 2 of them and takes one of them and takes a sledgehammer to it to the people in line.
Yeah, douchebags.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
No,
okay.
fucking idiot. Like, douchebag is complimenting him.
Oh, there's also
it's-
more information
Whatever,
on
dude.
games and stuff, by the way. So, first of all, the consoles in Canadian, the normal is $629 and the digital is $499. That's
Okay,
Canadian
yeah, that
prices,
makes
obviously.
digital real easy for
That's
me.
not bad at all. To be entirely honest.
$500.
And
I told you they would downsize it. I told you they would downsize it to $499 for the digital.
Yeah.
Spider-Man has 2 editions. Normal edition is $64.99 Canadian. There's an Ultimate Edition, which is $89.99, but it comes with the original Spider-Man as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, but is there anything in addition to Miles Morales?
Oh, there'll
Spider-Man?
probably be like costumes and shit with it.
Probably some costumes and stuff like that. But for $89.99, you get basically the new game plus probably an upped version of the original game.
Yeah, that's a decent deal.
And actually, sorry, it seemed like there was more info. That's all they got right now. Still, that's the prices and that's some Spider-Man news. We're a news show.
I mean, not really.
No, we're not.
It's
Yeah, so-
it's an exciting time.
So officially, the Series S $2.99 November 10th, digital edition of PS5 and PS5 regular, $3.99, $4.99 on the 12th. Oh, never mind. The guy was doing an order of price. I thought it was saying the Xbox Series X was coming out a different day. I'm like, that's stupid.
Yeah, what the hell? I think the Series S is going to sell more than the X.
It probably will.
That's my guess, because I think that the Xbox is going to become people's secondary console.
I said to you guys, they're looking for the core, like they're looking for just the average person. That's what they're after.
Yeah. It'll be the complementary.
I don't know if they can win back the hardcore audience, so they might as well just go for the everyday audience.
See, the only thing is, I think one thing that's going to make Xbox potentially win this gaming war is the fact that it's being so available via mobile that
what is your definition for them winning? That's my question.
Like outselling, out marketing.
Then I will say no. And the reason for that is like maybe in the West, maybe in the US, maybe. But worldwide, not a chance. Xbox sells horribly in Japan every time. Japan doesn't give a fuck. Okay. So Sony will make it up in the out of the US and Canada, like North America world. Because Sony has a much better
between Mac and Windows, what does Japan use more?
I have no goddamn idea.
I'd have to imagine Windows, but PCs are not very popular. It's cell phones only, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cell phones, consoles. Honestly, I think most people carry around a Nintendo portable console more than a phone.
Okay, so this is the best I can give you guys. So this is something from 2018. It says Stat Counter Analytics give the following operating system market shares for Japan as of December 2017. Windows 54%, iOS 21%, OS X 11%, Android 9%. So PC, I guess, but mobile is slowly taking that over.
Well, that's my thing is like with Android and Xbox.
Yeah, but it won't be the same in Japan. Japan does not care about Western. Like Sony is their console. So no, believe me, Japan, like here's a newsflash. Japan is really fucking racist. They hate a lot of things outside their bubble. Japan supports Japan.
Oh yeah.
They are very national. That's why Xbox keeps failing. Not because it's bad, but because they just don't care.
You know what they really want in Japan?
You know what it is? It's a support local thing.
No, it's not even support local. It's literally fuck everyone else. A lot of people don't understand that. Japan really, and I mean this in the best way possible that I can make this clear. Japan doesn't fucking care about anything that isn't Japan. Every time something gets popular in the West, it's by accident. Japan does not prepare for things. Persona never should have been popular here. Monster Hunter never should have been popular here. Hell, Resident Evil should not have been popular here. But it did, despite them not trying. That's what happens with Japanese properties. They get famous by accident.
Especially I think Resident Evil became popular because they were using white characters.
No, you're not understanding. They never marketed these games to be for us to go crazy on.
Yeah.
Everything
Japan
that gets
loves
popular
white
here,
people.
Yeah, no. Well, also anime is just inherently always white because that's how they view themselves. Like that's honestly why anime characters look white.
Themselves.
That's how they view themselves. They don't view themselves as yellow.
Yeah, that's why they love white characters.
Yeah. But no.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure Japan, they just want their 3DS to also be a cell phone, and they'd be happy for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. I mean, people are already marrying their phones, so.
Yeah. I mean,
or their avatars.
We all.
So look, if we're doing boundaries here, if we're talking worldwide, there's no way Xbox wins. If Xbox ever wins a worldwide fight, that would be amazing and really shocking. They might win it in the West. They only have a chance
with North America.
They might win it in the West, and it won't be because of the games, it'll be because of the price point.
Yeah.
In the same vein, like in the Wii did so well because it was cheap and families could get into it. This console may have a chance to do similar things because it's cheap and there's a lot of options for families to get across to. Yeah. So it's a good strategy, But I don't think in the long term, in the whole world, I don't think they will, because there are just certain countries that just they don't really pay attention.
No.
Either way, it's great to have options. That's all that matters.
It really does.
I mean, I might get them all.
Gotta get them all.
The competition. Digimon.
My Pokemon dance.
Chris is sitting there. I want the biggest backlog that no one ever plays.
See, if I get a PlayStation, I'll have like 2 games on it and be like, all right, no new games buying until these ones are done. And I'll buy one at a time. One at a time. It's the Xbox, if I do that, and I end up with Game Pass, that scares the shit out of me. Scares the shit out of me. Like, That's so
it's like
terrifying.
that one special move Ken had in X-Men vs. Street Fighter, where it was like a dragon punch that went up to the sky. That would be your backlog. That dragon punch.
And it's already close. I feel like it's pretty close to that.
It's pretty much there, dude.
I'm getting through it. Only 300 and something games to go. Hey, I mean, I'm beating 50 a year. I could probably finish it in 6 years. I think I have about 6 years worth of games.
I'm just waiting to
that's the whole console generation.
When we're like at the age to retire, it's just gonna be trailer road trips and video games the entire fucking time.
When I eventually have kids, I got to figure out how to make them play video games from like 1 on.
That's not hard. That is literally not hard. You find them something colorful and cute.
Have you tried playing video games with a 1-year-old? It's frustrating.
I'm trying not to because I don't want her to get into watching TV yet.
No, it's like, not TV. It's interactive art. It's interactive art.
Yeah, I know. It's
Maybe
more.
the kids can
it's more so her
their own dinner.
dad. It's more so her dad.
Yeah.
But
we're almost 2.5 hours. I think this is a good place to stop now.
I think it's time.
Yeah.
So going into November, I mean, if you're planning on getting the console, if you can get a console at that point, but
I know what my mission is tomorrow.
I think we got a lot of good value going on with no matter which console you buy, you're getting value at this point. These consoles, in retrospect, now that we have all the prices, I can't believe that the cheapest or the most expensive console is $500 American. I can't believe it, given the tech that's in these fucking machines.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I look at my PC and I'm like, damn it.
Like, you're the
expensive.
PC expert, Chris.
Like, you can do amazing things.
That like this console in a PC, if we were paying for it, has to be like 1,000, right?
So they use the AMD graphics cards.
The only thing is, though, with the PC, it's a little unfair to compare because with the PC, there's more usability than just gaming.
Oh, yeah, but even just if we're talking the parts, like even if you were just buying the parts, and we're not talking if we take the OS out of the equation, I think it's still almost $1,000, isn't it? Yeah. If not more.
It has got to be close to $1,000, yeah. Because when you take into account the not the Series S, that one I'd have to look into because it only goes up to 1440p.
That one would probably be like, if I was roughly guessing, probably $600-700, probably.
Honestly, it's more like 800, probably.
Like it being a fair.
I don't know. That'd be the 3070.
I'm thinking American, by the way. Are you thinking Canadian? Because we got to remember the two.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking Canadian. Yeah.
When I look at prices, I certainly do look more Canadian than I do.
Like if the reason I'm taking the $299 because again I'm not translating as we go, so I take that price for a PC. I think you double it and then go about half more. I think about 2.5 times is probably what the PC would have cost. So you could almost say
the Series S.
The Series X could be potentially a $1,250 console, American.
Yeah, for sure. It's the most of all the consoles coming out. The Series X is the most powerful, like CPU and GPU.
And how do I know this? Because I know how much I paid for my thing, and it's probably like half the power.
Yeah. Now they're using the AMD graphics cards, which only just got revealed in Fortnite yesterday.
Yeah, we're about to hear about them next month. So we'll have the Chris Wankathon pretty soon.
I'm gonna have to see what the prices are because I you imagine Nvidia went as cheap and affordable as they did this generation because of what AMD is doing, which the reason they did it is because they needed it to be affordable for the Xbox and PS5. So it's a chain reaction that makes me want to buy too much stuff. That's the
isn't that the worst problem to have? Just wanting stuff, having too much stuff to want.
But it's also my wallet's problem.
Well, then you better start doing that OnlyFans account more often, man.
Man, I only can take so many dick pics. It's really hard to get different angles.
I bet it's really hard.
Why don't you just do like a 360 view?
Because that's it. That's one video. They sign up for 1 month. Dude, they download the video and then they unsubscribe.
Do a really quick boomerang. So be like,
I need recurring customers, man. If I haven't even bought Xenoblade Chronicles on my Switch yet. I was waiting. Like I'm never getting.
Or do a hyperlapse of the erection, like bing.
Oh, you're still just on the dick video.
Of course he is. He can't help himself. He likes talking about dick.
He's obsessed with social media. That's what it is. It's part of your job.
You are such a dick, Adam.
I mean, yeah, that's probably true.
Oh, you Richard.
Only half true.
Such a Richard.
You know, there's
such a rich.
You know, there's a guy who does like jazz covers of really popular songs, and his name is Richard Cheese.
Okay, that is. I know what I'm doing for the rest of my night now. Thank you.
Okay,
imagine this. Just imagine this. Imagine a guy with snapping his fingers to jazz music, going, "You won't get up, you won't go down with the sickness." Just imagine that.
That's so good.
I'll tell you a story after we're done recording about a customer.
Well, then shut up. We'll talk about it after the show. I'm going to end this goddamn show because if you're going to keep talking, I'm going to fucking... So, this has been the VCR Podcast. I was waiting to see if anybody would open their fucking mouth. I'm really shocked nobody said anything.
I thought it froze. I was like,
Madden forever.
I found that I'm really good at staying still for about a 5-second window so people think I froze. That's been a weird skill I have.
I thought Chris didn't move. I didn't move. I was like, oh, fuck, not again.
I know. It's really hard when once in a blue moon I take my time to really freeze.
This is why we're friends.
If only I could make my voice go to like the do that.
Speaking of dick pics, what happened to Vishal's camera?
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, I'm ending this fucking thing. So thank you so much for checking this out. I'm not even going to bother with all the friggin' stuff because this isn't even an audio form. You want all the information? It's on the fucking screen you're watching. So take care.
Downward.
Fuck all you guys. Although mostly fuck Vish. But I'll see you guys next week.
Great audience relations, dude. Great audience relations.
I know, right? I do the best that I can. But yeah,
good night, everybody. Follow us at Views Vishal, Jin and Chris, and CS Radical, and
I cut him off. Wait, shit. He cut my name out. Damn it. How else will I tell you that I'm CS Radical? Oh, wait, the screen. Still can't hear him. Ha. Take it easy, guys. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next week when we have a proper show.